Howdy, folks. Welcome to Alberon RPG. We are here with Black Heart of Texas, our original Fallout game. I am Joe Treff, the GM of this game and many other ones that we have here. And joining me are my friends Matt, Olive, Kara, Vincent, and Hannah. Although it may be easier or harder to see some of us than others. We are going to be we're going to be playing Fallout tonight. But before we do, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, we are missing our very dear friend Alana, who plays Mary Sue Ellen, the gunslinger. They're feeling a little bit under the weather today, but are going to be taking a longer road around to Austin. And will hopefully be joining us for the final session of this campaign.
Feel better, Alana.
Yeah, please feel better, Alana. And also feel better, Hannah, who's still joining us, but also feeling a little bit under the weather, so might be a bit quieter than the past sessions.
I missed the hunt on Friday, and I'll be damned if I miss Fallout too.
There'll be a wild hunt here. Before we get into this game, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, we have a whole bunch of different social media at Alberon RPG where you can see a plethora of content. You can see the different things that come up on our table right now, just a couple of different handouts and dice and things like that. But sometimes there are encounter maps. We have encounters right up here on the table, right over there. And you can see those things that come up on the table in much greater detail at Alberon RPG on Instagram, on Threads, on Blue Sky, on Reddit, on all those different things. Olive is primarily doing the social media management these days. You can see all kinds of cool things. We also have a tremendous number of games that are happening. We have Starfinder on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live Starfinder every single night, seemingly forever because we are 133 sessions in and no sign of ending anytime
sign
soon.
Of figuring out what's happening.
This group has showed up on I feel like you guys at least know what's happening on some level now. I hope.
I do.
I hope.
I think I do.
I hope. I hope there's some idea of what's going on.
I mean, I've been trying.
133 sessions in, but the end is still a ways out. You can definitely join us and have plenty of mileage
We
left.
just
in
got
the tank.
like the 9-part quest line. We unlocked the main quest.
You
I
did.
think.
You did.
Yeah.
So you can see what we're talking about. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Twitch. On Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we play Adventures in Alberon Courts of Everest. It is the second in a planned 10-part series of linked campaigns. That is a Feywild adjacent campaign that is taking a slight darker twist in the session that is coming up on Friday. On Saturday, just yesterday in fact, we played Ace of Roses Season 2, which was Romance Dawn.
Romance Dawn, you got it.
Yep, that is a reality dating game show using the Starfinder system that was GM'd by Olive. It was an absolute blast. You can see a number of people who are a variety of alien species competing for love and wealth and maybe a little bit of violence.
Ooh.
And you can see that right now on YouTube, also at Alberon RPG. And then after our Fallout session today, we will be playing Session 0 of Iron and Thorns, the second of the kind of anthology series that is set in early 1900s America using the
Cypher system.
Cypher system, but the
Old
Gods of Appalachia rule set. Thank you. I was thinking I don't even know what word was coming along in my mind. Something with an A. It was Appalapachacha.
Nice.
Yeah, I got really stuck on that one. Kara runs that game. It is a much more serious tone than the dating game show. And you can join us when that airs, I think starting in 2 weeks. Next week. So starting in 1 week, we will be playing that. And if you are subscribed to us on Patreon, you'll be able to see Session 0 sometime in the future, in the very near future. Okay, that I believe is all the announcements that I have. If you want even more announcements, you can see the state of the Alberon RPG sort of address over on our YouTube channel. But it's time to jump in to our session. And this is apropos music. We begin in the midst of a tale of 6 denizens of the Texas hellscape who have been banded together to rustle up a prize for the Ghoul Baron, a wealthy ghoul who is sick of not having a seat at the table with the rest of the elites of Texas, who call themselves collectively the Brahmin Barons. This prize was the Black Heart of Texas itself, the last remaining oil field after the bombs fell over 200 years ago. You shopped in the settlement of Bliss in the remains of present-day El Paso before heading out toward the airport to find yourselves a ride. Your first contact, a man named Right Hand Sam, was found dead, drained dry by some blood-sucking blood bugs that you gunned down in short order, leveling up. You then looted the safe house, and after holding a holotape that had instructed Sam to find a ride with either the Brotherhood of Steel or the NCR patrol on opposite sides of the airport, you, considering your super mutant and ghoul companions and some less than favorable history with the Brotherhood, opted for the slightly less racist New California Republic patrol, and emphasis on slightly. You used your super mutant's raw strength to hoist the shells and frames of wreckage of cars that dot the choked highway to make a bridge to your own across a 60-foot irradiated canal, and found yourselves at the outskirts of Camp Trident. Here, your gunslinger, Mary Sue Ellen, conversed on your behalf and found out that her closest contact, the commander of the outpost, had gone missing. After investigating the super mutant attacks taking place all along the western Texas hellscape. Though your gunslinger, Mary Sue Ellen, was unable to negotiate you some guides through the wastes, she did secure your market rate rental transports, these 20-foot-long geckos called saddle scamps that rushed you along the wasteland highways towards Austin, where you hoped to find a vault within the location of this oil field, or which had this location. You took shelter amongst the ruins of the overpass as night fell, where a number of old Corvega vehicles had piled up. You successfully dodged a number of landmines on the entry ramp to safety. While you rested, Jebediah sought the help of Miss Greta to pierce an old Corvega's coolant line to spill into the dirt below. Jebediah then collected some of this dirt for some unknown purpose.
No one knows why.
The rest of you rifled through the belongings of its former occupants, finding them to be wearing these peculiar suits of blue and yellow with 40s on the back, and a holotape with a strange message inviting you to try Sheriff Longhorn's whiskey on the rocks at the Remember the Draft House.
They remember the draft house.
It's just called the Remember the Draft House. After resting, you took off further toward Austin and the vault now confirmed within. And after a day of travel, you had your large saddle scamps growing hungry and thirsty and came upon the town of Sonora. But before you could rest your weary mounts, you found that there was a raid ensuing. With Mary Sue Ellen actually knowing several of these people, there was little to do but intervene, and you all rushed into battle. Your super mutant Jebediahs charged into combat, but found themselves pummeled by the heavy weaponry wielded by the power-armored raider that emerged from inside one of the buildings. Ghoul Bob joined the fray, but found themselves particularly fragile in the face of oncoming laser fire, and instead you backed off and rallied the settlers and your allies to generate valuable resources, before noticing that this settlement had a working arcade machine. And lost to the memories of the past, Ghoul Bob, you left the battle to play Zeta Invader. Madeline used one of the settlers, sheltering behind a steel drum as a tripod, to take a tricky shot on one of these raiders, managing to fell them in a single blow. Peggy ran from cover to cover and brought Jebediah's back up from being almost mauled by this power-armored raider, with double-fisted stim packs, taking careful track of how many she was owed, and helpfully reset the near-shattered leg of the super mutant, allowing Jebediah to explode forward and shatter the Raiders' power armor helmet and their nose. While Miss Greta found themselves beleaguered by raiders on either side, a mysterious stranger appeared on the rooftops of the feed depot nearby and fanned the hammer into one of the raiders, gunning them down before disappearing in a wave of synth surf rock. Madeline used their combat rifle, but found that it had more of a learning curve than expected, and especially with the party in close proximity, opted to miss several shots as opposed to shooting the helpful Peggy. Jebediah, you were downed again as a raider plunged a ripper through your sternum, but Miss Greta brought you back with a critical medicine check before Peggy swooped in and used a pulse grenade to lower the armor of this Power Ranger.
Basically.
Man, it's always the Yellow Ranger that fell first. Miss Greta you had the last laugh, politely incinerating the final raider with your flamer. And with the sounds of the power armor, gunshots, and shouting now dying down, the raider armor vanquished and the town of Sonora safe, you were all able to loot the raiders around you. Between sessions, you looted those scum-sucking raiders, with Jebediahs coming away with their leaders Ripper and Bob, who is also a ghoul, with their improved laser rifle. Peggy salvaged the rest for components, and then managed to craft several things. Peggy, what did you craft? As in the background of this depot, Bob the Ghoul just jamming on Zeta Invader, with several of the settlers also kind of gathering around, impressed with their skill.
Peggy is going for a couple of things. Peggy is going to try to craft 2 more Molotov cocktails.
Okay.
It says that's 30 pound 1, complexity of 4.
Okay.
So it's been a minute since we played Fallout, so Kara has forgotten what that means.
These are Molotov cocktails?
Yes.
So you are making, I want to say, a repair intelligence check,
Okay.
and that is complexity
4.
Complexity 4 for
It's
Molotov.
explosives. Its skill is explosives.
Okay, sorry. So it's going to be
Oh.
explosives. And
Difficulty level.
And what's your repair skill? Because it's
Explosives.
what's your explosive skill?
My explosive skill is 4.
And does it reduce the complexity? Because I know repair it does. When
Take a
stuff
quick
with
look.
complexity, usually when you craft it, it reduces
Been a
the difficulty.
minute.
It's
by
okay, we
might
only had
also
3
be-
weeks to do this.
You
not
might
during
also
the stream.
need demolitions expert, which I believe you have.
Yeah, no,
which-
I have
yeah.
that. Yeah.
But that also
So that does reduce the difficulty. So you're looking at a difficulty 2 task.
Difficulty 2 task.
For you, Peggy, this is a relatively simple task.
It's also a tag skill, so I think I reduced.
Oh, that reduces it a further time to 1.
Get it, Peggy!
and you get extra criticals.
Do you want to use any?
That is
Oh,
cocked.
do you want to use any action? points?
Maybe, but at this point.
Alright, so that is. So 4
these
plus.
the extras.
Yeah, that's 2
Luck
successes.
2 successes. So go ahead and take an action point.
We have 5.
And you successfully craft these Molotov cocktails. Here in this space, there is plentiful supplies. They have all kinds of things. And you are, especially after helping this town, welcome to use the facilities here. It's easy for you. And it's clean here.
Peggy would also at some point attempt to trade with the peeps for some ingredients to make some chems. She is
Okay.
1 blood leaf away from making a particularly fancy one.
Ooh.
Okay. So go ahead and is there anybody that's going to help with this? This would be a Barda charisma check.
I mean, I could try.
That would be great.
So what are you doing to help?
Well, I feel like I've probably gotten the high score at this point, right? That's
You
kinda-
have, but of all the people, so you've really gotten everybody's attention. Of all the people who are kind of gathered around, the only person who is not really paying attention is the person who's opening this place up. And alongside Peggy, kind of silently working, you can see they are missing their left thumb, and in its place, just jammed in, there is what looks like maybe the edge of like a fork or a knife or a spoon with the actual like implement bent off and then kind of welded around, so it's vaguely thumb shaped but flat. This you could maybe consider it a prosthetic, but it would have very little functional value. They also smell vaguely like fish. They are kind of like going around gathering parts and sorting things out after all the gunshots have sort of thrown this place into disarray. And I would say you can see that behind the counter of this ex-Poseidon Energy Station, there are a couple of rare components, and you can spot in a little bit of a like glass mason jar a single blood leaf.
Hey, see if they're amenable to part with that.
Say, Bub,
Yeah.
would you be amenable to relieving yourself of that blood leaf? What is it? Blood leaf? Blood leaf?
Well, yeah, I'd be amenable to freeing myself of any of this stuff. What do you got?
Well, what do you got?
What's your price? I got a few things, and I'm willing to part with it.
We've got some caps and other odds and ends. I'm a tradesman myself. Also,
I'll blow stuff up.
Nutrient.
He looks you up and down and he goes, well, normally I don't really take caps on account of I'm the only shop in this here town.
I got other things.
I got some.
Go ahead and make a barter charisma check, though. As you say that you're a salesman, he considers.
Can I?
It's not often that there's another store in
Okay.
town.
Can I add to that
So-
by holding up like a raider arm with like some
Barter
arm still on
charisma, you
it?
said?
So go ahead, roll a d20, and I would say for you, this is going to be a.
So it's a
It's also a
tag
barter
skill.
charisma check, and you can add any successes to that.
So this is one of my tag skills.
Okay.
And it's rank 3. Right? So I roll 2 and wait, I get extras, right?
Well, if you buy
Nope.
action.
So
No.
you have 2d20.
Yep.
Do you want to buy any?
2d20.
Do you want
I
to buy
don't
any
think
more
I-
action
I've-
points before you
I'm-
roll?
I don't
I'm-
think.
Do I tell you I added? I'm adding a success.
Okay.
It is a tag skill for me as well.
What's the
and I rolled
difficulty?
a
So for this, it was be difficulty 2.
Okay.
You're getting help, and the help, like thrusting up these parts. They've also been watching you and seem to like appreciate the fact that you quickly threw
Cool.
together these
Well-
Molotov cocktails.
Oh man,
That's,
artesian.
I think a critical success. Cause it's a
What's your
tag?
barter skill?
Oh no, it's not a critical. That's just a regular
What's
success.
your barter skill?
3
Okay.
tag.
So it's just
Uh,
one success.
Yeah, but it's because it's 10 is the number to beat, right? Because it's charisma plus barter,
Yeah. So you want to get under that. So you have
Yeah,
one success,
so one
which
success.
is 2 success with.
which means that we're good.
What was the difficulty?
It's good difficulty 2,
and I
so
had
you are
nice.
fine. You grabbed an action point from before.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So they look at you, they see Peggy holding this up behind you. They've been watching Peggy work. They nod and they say, you know, I appreciate good craftsmen coming around, and I don't often get to interface with another salesman. Yeah, I could part with some caps, some blood leaf for some caps. How many caps we talking about? I'm thinking maybe 30.
Peggy kind of. Oh.
25. We did just help you save the town.
Mm. You drive a hard bargain, my girlfriend, but
Yeah, I want to make it around in this place.
got an awful nice hat there, fella.
Huh?
25 caps in that there hat, and you got yourself a deal. It's hard to find bloodleaf around here.
Not the hat.
It's kind of small in your head there, friend. I mean, I think it would look better on me.
Yeah, a lot of people
Damn.
do, but it's part of the charm. How about this? I keep my hat, but I've got a nice shotgun shell here that would make a pretty good thumb for you.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is he missing a hand?
He's missing a thumb. He looks at you, his eyes narrow, and he goes, well, now that's kind of how I done lost this thumb in the first place. But go ahead and make, this is unassisted, make another charisma barter check. This is a difficulty 3 task. And if you make this, you get the sense that you're going to be able to convince this guy that
Buy
he wants a
some
shotgun
dice.
shell for a thumb again.
If you want to buy.
Yeah, I think I'll buy an action point.
Okay.
So you
Probably.
get 3 dice.
Yeah, so probably just the one.
3 is the number to
Why?
beat. You
Good
need
for
3
me.
successes.
Use 3 action points and get another one.
Should I use them? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll use 2.
Alright,
Or
so now you
3.
have 4 dice.
Well, wait, because I think I have. When I make a charisma speech test, convince someone of. Oh no, that's not a lie. When you make a
Convince someone.
barter or speech test as part of an opposed test, you may re-roll a d20. I guess this isn't.
It's not an opposed test.
Opposed test though, huh? Okay. So I'm taking another die. Can I roll?
Part of this is that they kind of want you to like convince them in this
Yeah.
moment, mostly because they're very impressed with you all helping.
Ooh, bad.
Ooh,
Use some luck
that's
points to
You
one
might want to use a luck
success.
point on the 20.
I'll use 1 luck point to start and then re-roll the
Okay.
20. All right. I'm
2
gonna use
successes.
another luck point to
We only need
re-roll
one
the
more.
19.
Oh, so close.
Use a 3rd luck point to re-roll the last one.
You feel your luck draining from
No.
your body.
You know,
Damn.
it's only 5 caps a difference. Just... Fine. He puts down the 30.
You put down, already you're getting a good deal for this, but you put the 30 caps down, you watch Cool Bob debase himself in front of this guy.
Just to highlight, we just spent 3 action points to try to save 5 caps. Am I right? Just wanna...
You guys told me to do it!
I did it!
No. 3 action points and 2 luck points. Okay.
I was told to do it. I was not gonna do
Oh,
it.
man, it was
Now I just feel stupid because I waste all that
I
luck.
think it was good.
It was great. He looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, I would have liked that hat, but I could use the caps, I guess." And he passes the mason jar over to you.
Are you crafting? Do you have to-
I'm doing more crafting,
back
so go
to
ahead
my
and
game.
while
Well,
I
about
search
this
for
time-
the things I...
I would like to.
Oh, sorry.
Could I do something?
Yeah.
I'd like to walk over to the Nucatron machine and put a caps in.
Okay. So you go over to the Nuka-Cola Protectron, and you can see this is one of those that has the same kind of like promotional signage around it. You can see as it moves around, this Protectron says, "Collect all 3 caps." And like as it moves, you just shove a cap. into
Yes,
this thing.
please.
There is a little and distributed from this, there is a single Nuka-Cola quartz.
Oh, nice.
And if you were to look at it, you can see that when you pop the cap off of this, you will have the second in your promotional caps. You now miss only the Nuka-Cola Quantum cap to complete this collection.
Oh, you don't need the caps. You don't need the bottles.
No, you need
You need the cap. That's what has a little promotional thing on it.
Oh, so you could I could drink the Nuka-Cola.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole point.
You have to drink the Nuka-Cola.
That's the
before you use
promotion.
cap.
Oh.
You gotta drink
Yeah.
the product, otherwise it doesn't count.
I
Hmm.
like that every character Vincent plays likes to create full
It
collections.
makes it
Man,
very
I
easy to
love
create side
collecting
quests.
stuff.
You take the second Nuka-Cola, and now you are almost all the way through this set. And you imagine, should you get this third one, you could redeem it at a Nuka-Cola Protectron right then and there for the prize. Whatever that may be. So, you do that. Anybody else, anything before? You can see the mayor kind of approaching. They seem to have some kind of a key to perhaps a treasury of some kind.
I'm just cleaning my gun so that I miss this.
Peggy is going to sit back down at the bench and try to craft some Skeeto spit and some jet fuel.
Okay, so go ahead, do the Skeeto spit first.
Okay. Skeeto spit. Where are you? There you are.
And I think, if I remember correctly, I think that's easier.
Skeeto spit is a complexity 4 with the science skill.
So I think you're looking at a difficulty 2 then for that, with all of your abilities.
Yep.
Was the Protectron out of Nuka-Cola?
No, there's more.
All right. Can I get one more?
Yeah. You throw the cap in. Give me 1 second.
It's cocked. Yay!
When
I got
you-
a critical success.
Hey, look at that. Absolutely.
And a regular success.
And a regular success. So take an action point.
Nice.
You succeed, and you exceed your success by 1.
Yes,
And
Skeeto spit.
easily you craft the Skeeto spit. You're a little inspired. You've just seen something akin to this in nature. And so using that as your inspiration from those blood bugs, you can craft this very easily. Now the next thing is a little bit harder.
Jet fuel is a complexity 2. actually.
Really?
Yes, it requires the chemist.
Oh, yeah, that's why, because it's a different gateway.
You need a feat.
And I have to have jet already, which I do.
There you go. So go ahead and make your check, and this should be relatively easy for you. You're on a roll now
Joe, why have you said this?
because
You want to use any of these?
No.
Nice.
So that is
Are those the
1 success. I'm gonna spend a luck point.
Okay.
2 success.
Very nice.
Getting all my good rolls out real early in the game.
You
We'll need them
start
later.
to make this jet, and at first it's a little bit dicey, and you can see this guy who, after you make that deal with them, Ghoul Bob would introduce themselves as Tin Can Larry. Would
Tin Can Troy Larry Howard?
sorry, sorry. Let me find his name. I'm a little bit back on time.
Tin.
Yeah, Tin Can Troy Larry Howard, the man missing his left thumb and who always smells a little bit like fish.
Like tin can fish.
There's a point where he like kind of leans into one of the other settlers, the mayor actually, who's come up, and they're
Mayor
holding a key.
Lanscombe.
Mayor Lanscombe, and they turn over and they just kind of say, he has the quest marker, and he just goes, Mayor Lanscombe, I think they're getting too dangerous. And the mayor goes, no, just let them cook. And Peggy, you create that extra potent jet that you know really at a premium here in the Wasteland.
Buff jet?
Is there anything
No,
else
jet
that
fuel.
you all want to do before the mayor comes to really thank you for your service? Okay. So the mayor approaches. You can see they have a pale face. Their teeth seem almost a little bit too large for their mouth, and their nose matches, like quite large features for a very flabby, a little bit shrunken face. But they approach and they just kind of say, well, I owe you one hell of a debt. I'll admit, when first I saw as a super mutant, I thought we was about to be raided. Come to find out, well, y'all some kind of heroes. We have some rewards available for all of you. Please take something from our community treasury. Come on. And they kind of gesture you around and like walks you right back into the same store that you were in. You go
Funny.
right past where
That's awesome.
where
Tin Can
Troy
Troy.
Larry Howard is, who steps aside respectfully for the mayor and just kind of opens up this armory. So there is no longer a jar of blood leaf,
Damn it!
but there
That's
are many other things available. You can see all kinds of things once you actually make your way behind the counter. There are like different kinds of devices. I would say, Peggy, for you, you see something like 30 different individual bits and bobs that could be considered components. You see maybe 18 more that would be considered uncommon components, things that are a little bit more. And then you see 5 or 6 things that are truly rare, that would be considered rare components that are a little bit almost impossible to find. There is a treasury of things, and that is just the junk that is around on the tables. There are some other things here, but as you go about and you kind of look through the prizes, starting with you, Ghoul Bob, what are you finding in there?
I don't know. What am I finding?
So this was in the Discord where I said, each of you will find something. Please tell me what it is that you would like to find.
I know.
What is the thing? Who knows? Who remembers?
Oh,
It's
skip
weeks.
me. I didn't
Yes,
see
Miss Greta,
that.
Miss Greta.
So Miss
I didn't see that in
Greta
the Discord, I'm
is
That's
sorry.
all right. No
Um,
worries.
sorting around the stuff, kind of like picking up like scavenged trash, and she finds because she already has the actuated frame arms
Uh-huh.
from Alana's backstory adventure, and she finds an actuated frame thruster, and she goes, "Ah, this will do fine for me. Thank you."
The mayor looks down and goes, "Oh, I found that myself last time I traveled out to Austin. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of Mr. Handy units come around. Hopefully you get good use out of that."
Thank you. It matches my new arms that I have. Thank you so much.
Suits you much better than the other one.
Thank you.
Kind of nods. Peggy, what are you finding around there?
Well, I kind of paw through a bit of the ingredients, maybe pocket a couple of things. I found some stim packs. Good. Hot damn, I got 4 stim packs wrapped in this really plush, nice looking lab coat that, you know, with a bit of stitching. Could I have some ballistic weave in it? Stitching required.
You go ahead and grab that. All the individual components of a lab coat with ballistic weave stitching required. No problem. The stim packs that you find too, a little dusty, a little old, but they'll work. What about you?
So, in the corner there, leaning against the wall. Is that what I think it is? Is that a staggering puncher and sludge hammer?
Ooh.
Oh, that will do nicely. And he goes over and grabs it.
So you grab it. So for everybody, you look over, and Jebediah walks over to what is like a piece of wood that has been laid out across several things to make a table, and the corner leg that is holding it up facing all of you is a sledgehammer. And so Jebediah, as you yank this, and the table collapses. There is like 50 pieces of metal that just fall across everywhere. Little nuts and bolts just roll across the entire floor, and the mayor just goes, "Oh no! Oh, no. Oh, come on.
You need sturdier tables around here. Walking away.
And the sledgehammer has like an incredibly complex technological component just welded to the place where the head meets the haft. You imagine this will just incredibly increase the swing speed of this. There is something like bordering on legendary about this hammer. But absolutely, you grab that. You break this guy's table. Yeah.
I would like to use one of my perks called Pharma. When scavenging a location that contains medicine or chems, you can find an additional item randomly determined without spending action points. I don't know if that applies here,
It
but
certainly does.
Amazing.
Go ahead and make a scavenging check, which is going to be a... second here. We'll call this a repair intelligence check as you look around.
yes, don't mind if I do. May I have the dice, please? I don't have any within reach. Oh, it's just that I couldn't see them.
This dice tray is lopsided and
Ooh.
it really bothers me.
I'm
Yeah,
going to use.
it's the
I know it
leading
doesn't
power
fit, but hey,
dice.
I'm gonna use
Disa.
a luck point to re-roll those because those were terrible.
Okay.
Those were terrible. Those would be really good on Thursday night.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing about this.
Damn, those
Wow.
would also be really good on
Also
Thursday night.
Terrible. I'm
That's
just
a
gonna
lot
have
of
to eat it.
flaws.
I think. I rolled an 18 and a 17, so.
With 0 successes on that difficulty 1 task, you there's
Fail.
nothing there for
Yeah.
you.
Damn.
And part of it is that Peggy immediately takes a big pack of 4 stim packs,
What's
and
wrong
that is
with that?
most of the chems. And
Yeah.
also, you guys just purchased the other chem that was available,
Yep.
so nothing really there. Unfortunate.
Got that for free and I don't have to pay no cash.
Madeline, what about you? What do you find?
All right. Well, she pats her gun and she's like, all I want is for new Bessie to get better and better. And she looks around for a vented barrel that she can attach on to her gun.
Sure enough, there is a rack of different kinds of barrels that will perfectly fit a combat rifle, which makes sense considering combat rifles were mass produced for a time. And one of those barrels is vented, and you can certainly take that.
Nice. And she's gonna, when there's a free second, she's gonna ask one of the crafters to, or really anyone who can, to just attach it on for her.
Okay, no problem. And we'll say, as part of the incredible successful crafting spree that Peggy went on, Peggy does it for free. Just flies through and is able to mount that for you.
Well, thank you, Peggy.
Peggy doesn't even realize it happened.
Ghoul Bob, any thoughts on what you might find?
I'll take whatever. I'm not picky. I didn't have didn't really see that to plan. So
No worries. So,
Ghoul Bob just stands there and watches.
How about a mod for your energy gun?
I wouldn't even know where to start, but that'd be fine.
okay. So, the mayor watches you just kind of totter around for a little while, and he goes, "Fella, I don't mean this in a bad way, but the radiation seems to have eaten away a bit more than just your nose.
Yeah.
Let me just give you something been holding on to for a bit."
Sure.
And he goes over, and there's like half of a car that is just like pressed up against the corner here. And he goes and like punches the side of it, and the trunk opens up, and it's being used for storage. But he pulls out just a box that has big question marks all over it, and there is one energy weapon mod in here. And he says, "It's one of them there. I think they call them gotchas, but something in here for you." And he gives it to you. And later you can look up energy mods and pick one for that.
Cool.
I've got a list right here.
Thanks.
So all of you find something within the treasury. Mary Sue Ellen presumably finds something as well, but is quieter about it as they're engaged in conversation with one of the other settlers.
I think I remember what she got.
It's okay. Well, yeah, Mary Sue Ellen can introduce it when they return to us. But for now, Mary Sue Ellen would kind of peel off towards the end of this and let you know. After rescuing all of these settlers, one of them needs help just getting a couple of things over to a town nearby. Mary Sue Ellen is going to help them, seeing as how dangerous things have become with the raiders and with super mutant raiders especially in the area. she's going to help them and then meet you all in Austin. So Mary Sue Ellen takes off just a little bit early, but you have gathered things from the treasury. You have gathered and fed your saddle scamps. Is there anything else that you want to do in the town of Sonora before making your way off towards Austin?
Did we get that quest marker thing? Do we
This
already have this?
Gun for a slinger.
That looks like the one we failed.
Oh,
That would be the
did
one
we-
you
We
found.
heard
Oh,
about the
okay,
44
then.
Rainmaker, but yeah.
I think I used that to take a picture for for Instagram.
Okay. Just gonna flip
Yeah.
that one over then.
Yeah, that's the one I
We
punched.
successfully
That's when you
finished
punched off
this
the board.
one, right?
Correct. You have
So this
successfully
one's
completed
done.
that one.
I don't think there's anything else in Sonora I can see on any of these quest markers, so.
Okay.
Well,
I
have
have
we
a
spoken with
question.
all of the people in Sonora at this point?
We have Mayor
Arnie Gat.
Lanscombe,
Yes.
Arnie Gat, Farmer
Arnie Gat
Green.
and Farmer Green. I don't know if we've spoken.
We saved everyone.
Yeah, I know, but we haven't necessarily seen if any of them have like other quests. That's all I'm saying.
That's
like,
true.
It doesn't really matter unless we want to see if we can exhaust all of the side quests.
I mean, we got stuff to do.
That's
although-
also true.
I have a question. I am going to go up to any of these people in Sonora
Sure.
that are close,
Okay.
and I'm going to ask, have you seen a celebrity Mr. Handybot floating around any of these parts?
Mayor Lanscombe, as you say that, you're like holding the actuated thrusters that you just got, and he goes, "Well, yeah, like I said, got that one from Austin last time I was there from a real weirdo, Mr. Handy. Spoke all kinds of strange.
Did he speak in song lyrics by any chance?
He did before he blew him to smithereens.
You blew him to smithereens?
Well, yeah."
Did you salvage any of his parts?
He kind of leans in, looking at the actuated thrusters that you are holding.
Oh no.
Oh my god!
There's some more left behind in Austin, I think.
Oh my god! I can't believe you did that!
Damn.
Like I said, there's more left behind in Austin. We just
Excuse
took
me, I
this.
need to go to Austin immediately. Thank you for your gifts. I need to leave.
Okay. Flying out, full run animation. No problem. Anything else that any of you want to do in Sonora?
Devastating! Give those
Um,
back. Did we fail those already?
Like I said,
There's still parts.
there's
in
still
Austin.
parts in Austin.
sounds like you were never gonna find him whole. If that's any consolation. I like to ask. Do you know where I could find a Death Claw?
He looks at you, looks around, like everything gets real quiet for a second, and he just goes, "We don't like to talk about death claws around here. If we talk about them, they come. There's one now."
Like they can hear us?
He looks around.
I don't understand.
And
You don't understand most things. It's all right.
he gets really close to you, and he says, "They say they got super hearing, and they can hear when you say that word."
Oh, that's good to know. I'll say that word later when I'm not near town.
That's what I mean.
Can I look around the store and be like, before we go, you've already been so generous, but y'all got any 45 ammo by chance?
A little. "Hey, Tin Can Lord Trey Howard, get this lady some 45s. And kind of nods, goes behind the counter, and would pull out a dozen 45 rounds.
Well, thank you kindly. What do I owe you?
He turns, nods his head, and says, "Way I look at it, we owe you."
Well, that's mighty something of you. Nice. It's nice.
We try to be something around these parts. So,
Do you say 12?
12, yeah.
Thank you.
So you all gather these various bits and bobs, some of you learning traumatizing information. Anything else? Yeah,
I want to ask one more thing.
sure.
What do you know about? We heard about some super mutants like myself, but not as friendly. Big smile. Around these
Maybe.
parts, rating. Do you know
Like
anything
Robinson
about
Broken
them?
He nods and
And
he
he smiles
says,
with a lot of teeth.
"There's 3 of them. run by a guy named Big Tex. He's a dangerous super mutant. Not like you. He's
No, I'm dangerous for sure.
he looks over now, and you're holding this huge sledgehammer now, and he just nods and he goes, "Yeah,
but,
no, of course,
but not
of
not
course.
to you.
Of course,
Sweetie,
they're
that's
dangerous.
not what they meant.
Oh.
Real nice super mutants live out yonder, east. They're great. Love them.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a super mutant. Love super mutants.
Peggy's just like, in the back, like,
He's like slowly backing out
Well,
of the trailer.
I'm off now.
And there is a big sigh of relief through the town of Sonora this day. So all of you collect your saddle scamps, and you can see the road rolls out in front of you. There is markedly less traffic in terms of the congested kind of wreckage of vehicles. Sorry.
I'm not sure if we had a chance to do this after the last combat, but were we able? Oh, you already told us what we salvaged from the Raider power armor, right? There was no way for us to like use it.
There were ways that you could take parts of it, but you determined that it would be better for you all to take components instead.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we got
Discord?
an F.
Yeah.
So we
That's
kinda
not.
found-
That's not
separate.
it.
That's
That's not what we
different.
found.
That's
The
different. We
power
found a
armor that
Raider
you guys
armor.
saw
It was
on this
old,
Raider
shitty
was
Raider
like
armor.
made by Raiders out of wasteland
from
scrap.
like a stock frame, right?
Yeah.
So this
I
I think
is
that's what
not
Peggy-
bad.
That's like
Hi,
good armor.
Alana.
I think Peggy broke down the armor for
Correct.
the components.
Correct.
Yeah.
Skip it. Okay.
Hi, Alana. So all of you can see the road kind of rolls out in front of you. There is markedly less traffic in terms of the broken bits and bobs that would make up the cars dotting the landscape. You can see many of the wrecks have been cleared outright. Your saddle scamps, fresh from their rest in this town, fly along the road, and you make an unprecedented pace. You pass billboards advertising Sunset Sarsaparilla, Nuka-Cola, and Blamco mac and cheese along the sides of the road, and long torn down and shot to shit signs with ancient, long forgotten names of places long abandoned. Like Roosevelt, where you pass on the right highway, straight through a cemetery, and make it as far as a settlement called Junction, before craters destroy the road. And you reach a point where the crater is truly, in some places, 50, 60 feet across. It looks like at some point in the far distant past, there was perhaps large-scale bombs dropped in this area. Perhaps something larger kind of exploding in this space. Who amongst you has a Pip-Boy on them?
I
Madeline.
have the broken. Yeah, that
The Geiger counter does not kick up in this place, and so you don't suspect that this is a nuclear sort of detonation of any kind, but certainly quite large.
I don't suspect this is a nuclear
What
detonation
could
of any
have-
kind, but it is quite large.
What could have caused a crater like this if it wasn't something?
Make an explosives intelligence check.
It's far away from the
explosives
town, right?
Intelligence?
Yeah, at this point, you guys are probably like 3 hours out. You made your way pretty quickly.
While the group kind of just inspects
Ooh,
this,
nice.
Yeah.
That's,
Jebediah is gonna take a deep breath and
sorry,
then
what
yell,
was-
"Deathclaw!"
Let's get back to that.
What was the difficulty?
The difficulty of the. Sorry, I just got distracted.
Yeah,
by
no,
this.
no.
This would be difficulty 1.
Cool. That's 2 successes.
2 successes. So take an action point, and as you consider this and look at this, there's a formula that you can use to measure out the size and width and depth of a crater based of a sort of material and figure out what made it or what size explosion at least. And you get the sense that this would be probably like a 200-pound warhead of like a dropped bomb. During the Great War, there were times where Texas was attacked, as Mexico largely annexed from other sources during the Great Resource Wars. And in that time, there were many times in which Texas fell prey to some of those sort of skirmishes. And you're looking at the remnants of, prior to the bombs falling, some of the things that led up to it.
Okay.
Um,
So it's not like recent activity
Not
or
recent,
something
no.
from like the Brotherhood.
No, you can see places where even here, small mutated little bits of cacti have grown up, and things have actually like regrown here over time. As much as anything can here, it's pretty sparse. It takes you riding most of the day, and about halfway through that, there is a point where you do hear your super mute companion take a deep breath. And before you can really do anything, Jebediah screams out as loud as possible, Death Claw!
Why did...
Why'd you do
Claw!
that?
Echoes off to the left where the prairie and
Why-
dunes kind of wave
why
on
did you
and
do
on and
that?
on.
He
Is that
did
some
it to
kind of
summon
death
the
wish
Death
for him?
Claw, of course.
No, that's
Where
claw.
the sky meets the land and off to the right where a few mountains kind of rise up and you can see just remnants of buildings. It echoes off the buildings and back out into the prairie. And Jebediah's, for me...
Roll a D100.
No. Can you please, for me, make a...
Charisma speech check. Or charisma speech.
Roll a stupidity
Sorry,
check.
give me 1 second. I gotta pull up my list here. Can you make a survival perception check?
All right. I'll use Is it a luck point to use my luck
You
instead of my
reroll.
perception?
Oh.
Is that 1 luck point?
I
You
believe
can
so.
use luck point. Yeah, you use 1 luck point to use your luck skill instead of whatever else you're trying to use.
All right, and I'll buy a. What's the difficulty?
For this will be a difficulty 1 task, not hard.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll buy a thing
Burn
anyways.
it back, win it back.
Nice.
All right. So this was a
Difficulty 1.
survival.
Yep.
So I got.
survival perception.
So I got 3 successes.
Very nice.
So I get 2 action points back.
Yes, you do. And you're using luck instead of perception. And so you gaze out across the landscape. You're really trying to see a Deathclaw that you know is coming because they can hear their... It makes perfect sense to you that Deathclaws have great hearing. And though they are beasts that speak no language, can understand their own name given to them by humans. You gaze around and by sheer luck, it strikes you in this moment. Wait a second. That's probably not true. And you don't really need to finish looking around to know that a Deathclaw isn't going to come storming out of nowhere.
Did somebody call my name?
Wait, I think that mayor lied to me.
And it's less that he lied and more that probably that was more of like an urban myth or something that he believed. But you probably are relatively safe, at least from Deathclaws. And in this moment, you see no large scorpions that you do know sometimes frequent these lands. You don't see any of those bugs. There are no raiders. You feel relatively safe in this moment, despite shouting through the land.
Hey, back up. You got anything on the horizon aside from Death Cloud?
With that incredibly successful check, off in the distance, just about 6 hours away, you're barely seeing it through the atmospheric smog and the wave of heat coming off of the road in front of you. But you do see what looks like maybe buildings or some kinds of signs of civilization off in the distance. And as you ride for another 10 minutes, you see a sign overhead that you are just on the outskirts of Austin. It does take you riding through most of the day. And so as the sun is falling low on the horizon, you see the broken black bones of these smoked out skyscrapers that still stand after the blasts. But much of Austin, as you approach, is scorched rubble that rests between the bones like brittle, crumbling flesh surrounding an ominous, highly radioactive crater in the center. Even as you approach, Madeline, the Geiger counter begins to kick in a little bit. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Beep, beep.
Oh, this feels
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
There you go.
You ride on. And then for you,
Mm,
Ghoul Bob,
tingly.
does feel relatively okay. It is like you are walking into a little bit of a misty room after being in too dry weather. It feels good on your skin. Your skin kind of crumbles a little bit more. But you ride on as it gets a little bit darker. You draw
glowing.
to within a half mile of the city's destroyed limits. Your saddle scamps do begin to slow, and then as the ticking picks up a little bit, they stop. And they seem to blink much more frequently. They become a little twitchy and irritable, kind of flicking their tails and bodies as you are on, and they seem unwilling to move on. Is there anything that you are doing? You can see the road does stretch out a little bit in front of you. There are just broken buildings now rising up on either side. There are what look like adobe brick buildings that maybe were houses at one point, but could no longer serve as domiciles as they have no roofs or, in many cases, 3 or 4 walls.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
use my scope to look around,
Okay.
and by the same Sorry. And that means also that I have my gun ready, but I'm just looking around.
Make a survival perception check.
So, just the scatter scamps stopped because of the increase of radiation. Is that what I'm gathering?
For me,
correctly?
make a survival intelligence check. You look at these saddle scamps underneath you, and you kind of like pull at the reins, seeing if they'll move forward, but they won't.
Remind me and spend a luck point to
Use
Reroll?
luck as your attribute instead of whatever the attribute is,
Yeah.
or you could spend an action point to reroll one of the dice.
I'm
Sorry,
gonna go
what
ahead
was
and
the
do that.
difficulty?
Well, it's a luck point.
No, luck
Alright.
point.
Sorry.
Action point to gain a die.
Yes.
Before you roll,
action-
action point gain die, luck point
Reroll.
to
Okay.
roll each
And
20.
just for each of you, this is a difficulty 0 task for you, Madeline.
Yeah.
For you, this is probably a difficulty.
Five.
Is it a tag skill for you, survival? Difficulty 2 task.
All right.
Okay.
In that
Then
case,
I'm
I've
gonna
got one
use-
success.
Action.
So we get one back.
Okay, I'm gonna use.
Very good.
The
Well, I
economy
didn't
is
use
churning,
one.
boys.
Yeah. I didn't use one.
Didn't use
you get
one.
one
so-
because
yeah.
you
So
get
I'm
one
gonna
I know,
use
you
one.
said get one.
Success.
Right, I'm gonna use one.
He's gonna use one.
But we didn't take one out. So
Things are flying.
The economy is churning, boys.
I'll
It's
just.
that trickle down economics.
All
It's
right,
fine.
so that's
Trickling.
one success.
Nice.
And two.
Very nice.
How many did you need?
2.
Um,
Difficulty 2.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So
We
two
succeeded.
successes, and it was a tag skill, but I don't think it,
It doesn't
matters.
matter. That's a
That's
perfect
just for
yeah.
the difficulty.
You got it. So as you think about this, it isn't the radiation, though that is kind of indirectly why they're afraid of this place. This is a place of massive damage and violence, and as you listen, you hear off in the distance kind of the pop of gunfire. There is danger in this town. This is a immensely dangerous place, and the saddle scamps know that intuitively. They are not entering. The radiation is a minor part of it. The gunfire, whatever the gunfire belongs to, a much greater part.
Danger, Ghoul Robinson.
This is the town of Austin.
This is the town of Austin, the remains of the city of Austin. This is not a place
Can I see the quest
that
marker?
many people live. This is much more ruined, as a nuke was dropped almost directly in the middle of it, just a little bit
Okay.
northeast to center.
We have
And so, with the radiation in the middle, really hard to exist.
Thank you for being the secretary. All of
I hear gunfire off in the distance. We better be careful.
Peggy pulls out like 2 stim packs and like,
No worries.
Well, we don't have a choice, do we? Gotta persist on, but perhaps we can be a little sneaky as we move forward. I can scout ahead if you like.
Where do
Oh.
we?
Are we leaving our saddle scans behind? They don't seem to want to go in.
They know this place is dangerous, so I think it's probably going to be best if we hitch them up somewhere, come back for them after.
Fine by me.
I hop off my saddle scamp and
Okay.
sledgehammer over the shoulder, and I start walking.
Okay.
How
Could
far
somebody
out from
please
town are we at this
untie
point?
me from the
So-
side?
As you dismount, you can see ahead of you the road stretches out, and there are already buildings around you. So you're in town. You can follow the road for a relatively easy travel, save the debris and wreckage of the dead city and the kind of omnipresent ruins of the vehicles that litter the roads. Looking around, I would say through your scope, you can see that there is also enough intact buildings here that you could climb through the wreckage of some of these buildings to attempt to get to a higher vantage point and take that route. You can't see what's up above. There may be other things or other dangers there, and there is, in either circumstance, places where there is going to be danger. Rubble, there are flooded streets, there are all kinds of things here.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
It's hard sometimes to tell if you're looking at me because of the mask. So it's, and with the cloak too.
She keeps finding
Just-
ways to
just-
be
just
Just
sneaky.
point when you're looking at someone.
All that I can see is your hands and the dog.
Yeah.
It's like Dark Hermit or something.
Yeah.
I am here to haunt you. Anyway, Madeline, how do you think if you and I climb these rubbles to do a little bit of scoping out? As you see, I can float above rubble, therefore, difficult terrain does not impede my movement. And also, I have really good optical sensors, so I can see pretty far as well.
All right, between my sneakiness and your propensity for flying, I think that sounds like a good idea. y'all maybe lag behind for a few minutes so that we can get the lay of the land?
Break time, and he pulls open a pork and beans and just kind of like
Would there
crushes
be-
the top of it off and then starts eating it.
Yeah, you just take your fingers and through the metal and then just rip it open. No problem.
Would there be any indicators of where the vault entrance might be?
With your previous check, kind of looking around and everything, nobody's seen any direct evidence of it yet.
And we haven't heard anything more specific about, like...
Correct. You
the
imagine you'll have to
vault
explore the
entrance
city a
itself.
little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
So-
pork
Yeah,
and beans
that
should be
too, I
green. friend.
If we get to a perception check, I have a -1 to the difficulty of sight and smell perception checks.
Nice.
So
Are
you're
there
going to try
any
to
shadows
get
or
up.
darkness around?
There is.
I
It's
stick
getting
to
quite
those
dark.
as we're moving.
Very easy to do.
Nice.
At this point, the sun is pretty much set, and so you are out in the night air. It's a little cooler, a little bit easier for you to hide. Are you all trying to find a higher vantage point,
Yeah,
or just
so
the two of you?
I think it's just the two of us.
Doing some scoping.
Just for a second. Yeah. I'm trying to like sneak up there so that I can get a nice high vantage point look around without attracting attention. Greta's
Okay.
on her own.
So, yes,
Did we like fully heal like after the last session, or are we still at the same hit point?
you are fully healed. This is a new scene, so
Okay.
after you level up,
Refreshes.
Okay.
you refresh your luck. You are fully healed. You regain any spent resources that you have used.
Okay, thanks.
So Greta and Madeline, the two of you make your way off and towards the remains of an old hotel that is just completely shelled out. The front facade relatively intact, all 5 stories of it. As you get through the front door, you can just see straight across the street and into the next building because there is nothing behind it. But there is enough of the stairs that you can climb, though it is dangerous. I would say for this, to climb to the roof, especially thinking about the way that you're doing this, this would be a difficulty 3 sneak agility check.
For you.
Um,
You're
So-
climbing up like broken stairs with crumbling bits of like pavement around you, and
so
Greta
with,
just goes.
with the ghost
Yeah.
with the ghost perk, I get an extra d20 for free.
very nice.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and yummy. All right, let's see. So sneak agility.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 1 critical success,
Very nice.
1 regular success.
That is a success. It's hard going up these stairs. There are places where when you put your foot, the entire step just crumbles, and even the stairs behind you fall away. And as you travel up, you get the sense that you and Greta are going to have to find another way down. The staircase like gives away in several places. You just barely safely make your way up to the 5th floor, and there is a door that you could open up to the roof, but you can also just step around the door because the walls of this like kind of box-like structure are completely blown away, and you make your way out. There is a of wind as it whistles by, and you can now much better see out. And who is making this perception check?
I can, or you can.
What's
Or you both.
Greta? How if you could put a number on how good you are at perceiving things, what would that be?
7.
Well, I feel like I'm more of an 8, but perhaps one of us can look and one can help
Sure.
by looking also.
Absolutely. So go ahead and make a perception
Gameplay
check.
mechanics.
This
Let's look together.
Be survival.
you are
perception.
looking specifically for evidence of the vault.
I'd like to look for that, and I'd also like to see if I can see where the gunfire is coming
Okay.
from.
This is a difficulty 3 task. This is a perception survival check.
Okay.
You can make the check, and then Greta, you can assist by rolling a d20. And this is a single attempt to make a success on a survival perception check as well.
So I bought
Nice.
another die.
Do you get your
Wolf.
thing, the minus thing too? the
Survival
difficulty?
perception.
That one, I mean, yeah, but
I'm gonna re-roll one.
Is the difficulty lowered
Gonna
for
re-roll another
Olive's,
one.
We'll say yeah.
perk?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll use that perk as
well,
part
it's
of that.
already
Oh,
a success.
Right.
So
but it
I
lowers the
You'll generate more
difficulty,
action
so,
points.
yeah.
Tag skill.
no, it's not. All right, so I have 1 success.
So that's 2 successes total.
2
Oh, and we need
successes
3?
total. You
Fuck.
do.
Damn it. Wait,
Is there anything that you want to do?
I have. So I re-rolled 2. I can spend 1 more luck point to do 1 more
Yes,
re-roll,
you
right?
can.
Okay. Oh
Nice.
yes.
Ooh,
Okay. 2 successes.
Very nice. So you have to stay up there for a
was
good
worth
half
3 luck points.
hour. Up on the roof, it is a little bit cooler. The wind is blowing. And as it does, it's a little bit challenging to see through the dark, but with your scope especially, and especially with the help of Miss Greta, who is able to
Scanning.
like pinpoint the sounds and really get you started in the right direction, you find a couple things. First, you mark off a success on your journey towards Vault 40 because you can see in the distance there is really only one place where there has been like a large amount of wreckage cleared, almost like a well-traveled path, like very visible from up here. And so you mark that there is like a road that you can take that will lead you to a little back alley that has been cleared out with barriers formed on either side to make a very clear path. The gunfire seems to be coming off from a different direction. That seems to be coming off from the east. This path is a little bit more to the west. And from the east, you don't hear it anymore, but you do see signs of movement. Madeline, with that check, you see lights. And not just any lights. You see lights that almost certainly belong to headlamps to power armor. And when you see this power armor, it makes you think of the Brotherhood of Steel. Because it comes from headlight lamps level, and it's quite bright. Whatever armor this belongs to is certainly quite new.
One set of armor, right? Like I see like headlights.
You
that
see
would-
two.
Oh. Do I think that's the Texas tuxedo? Maybe one other.
Make a intelligence. This is a repair intelligence check. And this is difficulty 2 at this distance. You're seeing like the lights.
I have 1 success.
Okay. There was an off chance that maybe like certain headlights on cars have like very distinctive profiles. Maybe you would be really into the profiles of headlights for armor lamps, but you are not. This
Right.
is at this distance hard to tell. But you see them just kind of roving off into the north from where they are to your east. The path that you would want to take to perhaps travel to the vault, or at least a more settled area, would be west.
I make a mental map.
Okay. Now, as you have reached the roof, for you, of course, Miss Greta, it would be quite easy to get down. You can just kind of float. The stairs have sort of collapsed behind you. Madeline, when you look down, in order to get down, you would sort of need to like kind of drop from floor to floor. And that's relatively easy for the most part. You do note from the 3rd floor, there is no easy way to the 2nd. You would have to go straight to the 1st. And that's quite a fall.
What about climbing down the out? Can I look at the outside of the building to see if there are like handholds and such?
You can, and there are, in terms of like there being windows and bricks. It would be really hard. You're looking at a difficulty 4 climb down 5 stories
So-
of a face.
Do I think that it would be? Sorry, Greta. Yes, Greta.
I can repair the stairs if possible.
You can certainly try. Yeah, that's absolutely a route you could take.
Because I am good at repairing physical things, such as stairs.
So
And you know the code, right?
Good.
Building code.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
I can do it perfectly. So Greta starts picking up like the remains of the pieces of what the stairs that Greta stood on. So
make
she's
a
picking
repair
up-
agility check. You go and
Okay.
you take the pieces that have crumbled away.
Oh,
These
I
won't
thought
work.
it was
That was like pavement. But you find pieces of metal and you could just weld these into the wall.
Can
Absolutely.
I help her like pick stuff up and move it around and like
Absolutely.
maybe hold it in place?
Absolutely. I would say if that is how you're going to help,
You're gonna
make
hold the screwdriver like
a
it.
survival agility check as well.
Survival
I'm go-
agility for
Yep.
me.
And that is going to be a difficulty 2 task for you.
Okay, I'm going to use a luck point to switch my attribute to luck, and then so this will be.
Sorry,
almost
am I rolling
impossible.
2 dice as well?
Just one
No.
dice.
Just-
And then
okay,
you add
right,
that
because
as
this is the
help, yeah.
helper die. All right. Ooh,
You want to buy any dice, Olive?
I
I was
don't
like watching
feel like
the
I
second
need
session of this, trying to remember how to play, and I was like, I
Difficulty
knew how to
two.
run this at one point.
Right?
I don't remember this.
Oh dear. Well, good thing I have lots of luck points, so I'm going to re-roll this natural 20.
Really good dice rolls for last.
That is 2 successes.
2 successes, and you had 1?
no.
Okay.
What was
2
was the
successes is
difficulty?
enough.
It's still enough.
So you are able
Right.
to, using luck, you try to like weld this together, you try to add more stairs, it doesn't work. You're like really struggling. And then as you go down to try to find a new piece of wreckage, As luck would have it,
Nice.
there is an emergency set of tempo stairs. And these stairs you can just temporarily kind of inflate. And they wedge perfectly between these things. As they are rubber, slowly they'll kind of fall apart over time. But at least for today, you can get Madeline down safely. You take these tempo stairs and you just...
I hold out my
Inflate them
pincer arm to like hold the lady down the stairs.
I gently take it, avoiding the pincers. I do an Ariana Grande on Cynthia Erivo. That's a very funny joke for everybody. And yes, I accept the help. And as we're walking down, I say, "Well, Greta, you really are useful, aren't you?"
Aye, that is my whole job. Thank you for saying that, Madeline.
Handy.
You make your way back down. As all this is happening, what are the rest of you doing? Are you just kind of keeping watch, hanging out down on the streets of Austin?
I think I bought an extra Nuka, right?
You did?
I'm gonna go and give it to Peggy. Say, thanks again for saving my life.
It's not just a nuka. Oh, the second one you bought.
The second one I bought.
It's a
It is
regular
just a
Nuka-Cola. It's just a regular Nuka-Cola, but this one, room temp. A little warmer, actually, because Jebediah was holding it.
Really
Why is it
tightly.
extra fizzy? Peggy goes like looting through her bag. It's like, hey, thanks for attempting to, just sell the guy a finger. It's appreciated, and scratching some caps off the surface of the whole thing. So I figured, hey, with that, I'll make a little something for you.
Oh, what's this? What we got here? Oh,
There's
Great,
just a bit of skin
drugs.
spit in the bag.
cool.
Cool.
Sorry.
Bag?
Lasting duration is basically until
Yeah.
it goes away.
Yeah. It's really good with the addition that Peggy has put to it.
It's so how would that work if it's lasting duration and Peggy's chems function twice as long? Is that 2 scenes?
Yeah, I suppose it would be.
So I
Nice.
guess then I'm just gonna be like,
Oh, thanks.
What'd you do?
So
Okay.
that's not quite how you use it.
oh,
I
is
was
this an
gonna-
injectable?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna drink it then.
I mean, you
I like the
could.
idea of you just.
That's one way to get it in your body, but sure.
I love these shots of the nightclub back in the early 2000s.
It's like those
And while we're at it,
fucking candies of syringe.
it was a pleasure keeping you up, but it was also, frankly, the worst time of my life because I think I got shot to near within an inch of my life, and I've been shot up with other things, and I would much prefer to be shot up with stuff that is not bullets. So anyway, I made you this. It's an inhaler, so you got to take it, breathe it in. Don't just chomp on it. I
That's
know
cool.
you.
Bob just scored.
I know you watch that. You think, man, that looks like a good idea. And I've seen how you eat them pork and beans.
Oh, are you
and-
talking to me?
Yeah, see, that's not how you do this one.
Now, that being said, it does work. And so,
Yeah, it works for you,
yeah.
but this is not going to work that way.
Squirt it
And
up
I
my
would
nose
also
hole.
suggest
Sure,
you maybe
easy.
wait until we're in some dire situation rather than just,
It's like Flonase.
cracking it open.
And the way that Cool
Thank
Bob
you.
also takes this drug, and they just crush it right out of your hand, Peggy, is they take the injectable and then they just put it straight into the nose cavity. And just like Flonase, inject the entire thing.
Actually, yeah, that is kind of closer to what you want to do.
As you do, the effect of this just floods into you, and you feel bolstered by this drug. All of you reunite at the bottom of these stairs. About a half an hour has gone by, but Madeline has really pinpointed the direction that you all want to travel through this alley down to the west. Yeah,
Can I do one more thing?
you
I
can
think
do
I have a personal
million more
trinket.
things. Yeah,
I
you
just
do.
wanna-
Everybody has a personal trinket.
So I just want to
don't.
look at
You
it to regain a luck point
Okay.
during
Oh.
this
Wait,
break
so
time.
even
I
if
guess
we
I
didn't
would
get one
also
in our
do that.
starting equipment.
Oh no! So every character has a. It's part of just character build. Every
I think
character.
some
has-
characters
No,
do.
some don't.
As part
Oh,
of
is that
their-
true?
Yeah, it's
It's part
based
of
on
the
backgrounds.
starting equipment, and
Oh,
some
I'm
people get it and
learning.
some people don't.
Yeah. I have one though.
Very nice.
I think I might
Mine
be the
is
only one who
a,
doesn't have one.
I imagine this is kind of like a warlock short rest utility kind of
Well,
thing.
it's a trade-off. So I got a nice gun,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
get it. Yeah.
I am a merchant, so I got a random item
you
Mine's
go.
a bandana.
as a token.
So you absolutely can take your. What is your personal memento? Your trinket.
It's a employee worker ID that I think was who I am before I got turned into a super mutant.
You got me.
Why do you have my ID?
I like. So here's my question for you, Vincent. It really is a question for you. You look at this ID, you hold it up, and I imagine this is a moment where you're regarding it, and they see like just the employee badge part, and the camera can't quite see the picture yet. When it pans down, is the person on the ID a reasonable person for Jebediahs to be, or is it like, is it a picture of like,
It's like a
Kara?
woman. Yeah.
3 foot tall.
I have no idea.
Short
Woman.
woman.
You were a fairly buxom young woman. My God.
It's like a kid's like kindergarten ID photo. But whatever photo is, you could choose whatever you want.
The FEV is a hell of a drug.
You regard your potential time as somebody else, and you regain a little bit of life.
Nice.
Your parents must have hated you. They named you
I
Jebediah.
also am going to read it in a similar way.
Okay, no problem. You've spent a little bit more luck than you were intending, and so you regroup a little bit of that lost cost. Now,
Look at my
anything else that you all want to do, or are you traveling west?
Let's get on.
I think we're waiting for the recon team to come back.
Yeah,
right?
We just
they've
came
come
back.
Oh,
They just come
perfect.
And I have exposited. And does anybody have a piece of paper so I can draw a map?
What's that?
Does
Do I-
paper exist in this universe?
I might
Or
actually.
can I use the Pip Boy? Is there like a GP?
You
Like
certainly
a
can.
just-
It's,
Beep, beep, beep.
it's a
just drop-
map. It's not like one of the maps that has all the features kind of like already on it.
Right,
That
right.
you can put pinpoints in it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay, so I did
So
that.
You can just use my arm here. Here, you could use that vein right there as the main street.
That's okay. Thank you though. Why don't we
You
keep
sure?
Why don't we keep that arm nice and pretty?
Peggy's keeping an eye out for any signs of like bunkers or things that might potentially contain some, fat minis, fat man mini nukes.
It might just contain some fat, is what I thought you were saying.
Just some adipose. Some
So you
good
look,
old fat.
you keep an eye, you look around for any place where there might be bunkers, but as you pass, what Madeline has found for you is a series of back alleys that have been kind of barricaded on either side so that you can't really be like attacked from any angle. It's a very safe, almost trench that you're walking through.
Gotcha.
And
Peggy
you-
would also like put some like Radex underneath Backup's nose to be like, now the opposite of this. That's what you want to find. Remember that last thing I blew up in the lab that got a little goopy? That's the thing. You find that.
But it kind of like acknowledges that. I would say for backup, go ahead and make a perception survival check for that particular smell.
All right.
Difficulty?
What's the
Huh?
difficulty?
This would be difficulty 1.
When they attempt to detect creatures or objects, because their senses are especially keen, they reduce the difficulty of all other perception checks by 1.
Sure.
Ooh.
Difficulty 0.
Trying to find where the stats are.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they use like they don't have like the same stats. It's like body and mind or whatever.
Oh, sorry. So then this would, yeah, you could use mine for this.
Okay. That's a crit success.
Crit
That's a 1.
success. Very nice. Okay.
What's the difficulty? Was it 0?
It was 0.
So as you have backup really look for this, you're trying to figure out like where might there be some nice fat element of explosives around here.
Just some fat minis,
And backup looks lost. Backup kind of goes back and forth and seems a little bit confused. Here, with the radiation kind of seeping into the very like stuff around here, and there is low level radiation here. The Geiger counter is just a steady, not intense, but certainly noticeable. Backup doesn't seem to be able to differentiate here. You do
Just
make,
walking around in a circle.
Yeah. And it does slow your progress. Somewhat.
Starts clipping through a wall.
Eventually, though,
Classic Fallout.
at long last, you come to a place where the alleyway opens up to a street. And most of the buildings here destroyed. You do see in front of you, though, a very intact building. This building proclaims there is a false stone front facade that covers a recessed glass-covered entryway. The glass has long since been broken and largely cleared away, that there is some broken shards kind of in the edges. The space has been filled with steel, kind of sheets of steel, rubber tires, and other assorted bits of refuse that has been thrown together to make a man-made barrier. Outside, there is no power to this, but you can see visible an old neon sign that proclaims, "Remember the Draft House." And I would say, as you see this, Backup looks up at you, Peggy, and then points at this house.
Oh, big guy.
Yeah.
Open that door.
I go over and I try to open the door.
So you kind of walk across the street, out of the protection of this alley and into a space that's much more open.
Wait, be careful.
Say, be careful. Can you go ahead and make an agility athletics
Why?
check for
It's
me,
just a
please?
door.
And this is a difficulty 2 agility athletics check.
You said we were going away from the gunfire, right?
Correct.
So that still seemed to be the case? Like,
Yeah.
are we... Okay. We're not, like, walking into imminent danger here?
Let's see.
Not the same imminent
I forget
danger.
what it was.
Well,
Agility athletics. So for you, it's an 8.
because the draft house...
There's
we're
danger
supposed to-
everywhere,
we're,
man.
We're looking for something within the draft house,
You're in
right?
grunt
Oh,
country.
athletic. Oh, okay.
Hey.
Whew.
on
Two
now,
successes.
Kevin
2 successes. Jebediah, you take a step forward and you feel this strange sensation across your leg, and that makes you pause. And you look down, and your leg has pulled this string about this far. It is so close to pulling off. As you follow it to the right, you see it goes to a trigger on a shotgun that has been wedged into a wooden block on the other side of a car. This is a trap. And you almost set it off. You were very close. In fact, if you had rolled one fewer success, you would have had a shotgun straight to the knee.
I need those.
You do.
It won't be an adventure anymore if you do that.
So you step over that shotgun, and you make your way over to the door. You can see the door itself is like one of those steel pull handle doors, and the glass has been shattered. There's no barrier in front of the door, so you can see straight in.
He didn't trigger the trap,
No, he stepped over it.
so you can disarm it for parts, right?
You could certainly try.
I wave to the group and I point to the trap as I step over it.
Okay. You step over it. Yes.
I give him the universal Fallout hand signal. for
Slowly
trap.
becoming more and more bundled. You are more visible on camera now, though.
Yes, yes.
Look like a fucking astronaut.
Actually, it kind of works for the grid.
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I am trying to go as mechanical incognito as possible.
Maybe hard to hear you.
Yes.
You could just unzip the front part of the help.
Oh,
Of the,
are we ready to go like full microphone? I'm not allowed to do this on the other streams.
Well, your
I'm
face
not-
isn't covered.
she
on the other
says, "I'm not allowed to do this on the other streams." Literally, always does it on the other streams. Allowed.
Nothing stops Olive.
Yeah.
I
allowed.
forget.
When have I ever been allowed any of you to do anything? Anyways, please.
I don't remember what I was doing anymore.
Trap disarm parts.
Oh yes,
Scavenge parts.
trap disarm for parts. Yeah, I can do that.
So you
Can
go
I-
over.
Can I help using my kind of lockpick skills, which imply that I'm nice and dexterous when it comes to?
I would say
Ah?
for you, for both of you. Okay, Miss Greta,
Yes.
make a repair agility check.
Okay.
And Madeline, you can help by rolling 1d20 for a repair agility check. This is, I believe, difficulty 2, but let me just double check. It might be a little bit higher than that.
Is anybody else more equipped to help? I was hoping to lockpick, but if not lockpick, then
I'm good at repair, and
okay.
I mean, is
Difficulty
it-
2, intelligence repair or intelligence explosives. Either would work.
I can do
Oh.
intelligence repair pretty well. If
Yeah.
All right, Madeline's
if you
gonna
wanna do
step
the
back
thing.
and let somebody else step
doesn't
in.
matter to me.
I've got a pretty high explosive intelligence, so
Mine's an 11. Well,
Mine is a
transparency,
I'll do mine.
yeah.
Okay. So who's making the check? You're making the check and you're helping?
Mhm.
Okay.
Ooh. High, but not that high.
So you try to help Peggy, but from this distance, you're looking around for other traps.
Peggy's for sure just like, now, if you see a wire, cut. Well, don't cut that one. Cut the. No, cut the other.
Don't
other
cut the wire.
brother.
That's the trip wire.
Thank you. Thank you for your help in asking to cut the other wire, for I wouldn't have done that because I need to re-roll one of these dice. Oh, damn it. Well, if it was only 2 successes, we made it, because I have 1 success, and if you have 1 success...
Nope, that was just me telling you to cut a wire, and I didn't specify which wire.
Oh my
Oh, shit, I
So you
cut the wrong one.
the wire, and as you do, you cut
Not
the
that
wire,
wire.
in a way that puts all of the tension on the trigger.
Oh, shit.
And Miss Greta, your optical sensors turn to look as the shotgun blasts you right in the face. You do take 4 points of physical damage as the shotgun just explodes straight into your face.
To the face.
To the face.
To the optics.
Yeah,
to
so
the
optics.
2 damage to you.
Okay, so
Is it
if my
physical
physical damage DR is 2, then I
So
only
Only
take 2
take 2 damage.
Okay.
Oh.
Shit, sorry.
Can you still see?
I did not know Mr.
I thought you were good at disarming traps.
So,
That'll work out.
she's got 3 optical sensors all over, so you just see one of them has a cracked front. She's like, yes, usually I'm much better, but I got distracted by the wire cutting, Peggy. That was no help at all.
Well, I mean, from here, there's a bunch of wires.
And
They're all on you, but there's wires.
It was a little distracting. Jebediah, for you, you're at the door. You hear the shotgun go off. You kind of wince and look around. But are you going inside? You can see through the window. There are 3 stone steps that go down to a slightly sunken in long bar that is on the right side of the room. And you can see Jebediah's intact alcohol bottle still there. The tables beyond that have been kind of like knocked over. There is a wide hall with large doors that goes off, and you can see like theaters off to the left and right.
So I was
Everything-
able to open the door and be in, or am I looking through?
You're just looking through the broken window. If you want, you can open the door and be in.
Oh, I was instructed to open the door, so I opened the door.
Okay. Can you go ahead and make an agility athletics test? This is difficulty 2. As you hear a pin, ping, and you look and see a fragmentation grenade taped to the door.
Why are we going in this building again?
This is as a shotgun blast goes off. You're like distracted, so you
Weren't
turn
you the
around
one
and
who
open
told
the
us
door.
that this is where we're supposed to go?
Easy.
Oh, right. Yeah. Go.
This is an agility athletics, you said?
This is agility athletics difficulty 2.
Okay.
It would
I use a luck point to use my luck instead of agility.
Nice.
Alright. 7 plus. Ooh! Good thing, too, because that was 2 successes.
Nice.
2 successes.
That was what I needed, right?
You hear ting, and you know the sound of a grenade. You heard
Oh.
Peggy pull a pin just a couple days ago.
I'm good at this game. Baseball bat ready.
Whack a grenade, and it goes
Is it a baseball
off.
grenade?
No, it is a fragmentation grenade, and you watch as it gets shot straight down across the bar, down the hallway, and into theater 2.
Oh no, could have caught that.
There is a explosion.
Oh no,
There is
couldn't
just
have.
ricochets of fragments. You see the curtains that like kind of obscure the hallway to the theater like blow out, and then they go quiet. And you have diffused the traps.
Well, any opportunity for stealth, I think, is rapidly decreasing. So, anyone see any other things that are going to blow us up or blast in our
Are there
faces?
any more traps?
That's why you send the big
I
guy.
guess
I opened the door.
Bob, make a perception survival check. First person to utilize the spell look.
Again, you just
what's
send the
the
big guy.
difficulty 2 perception survival, you said?
Perception survival.
I'm going to use an action point.
Yeah.
Just to
Sure.
have an extra. I'll just reroll. Alright, cool.
No, I spent it.
No,
No,
he
no,
needs a number 9.
I
I
see.
realize that's not a number 9.
You said difficulty 2?
Yep.
Alright, I'm going
It's a
to
success and some arms.
reroll one of them. Cool, so that's 1, 2. I'm gonna reroll the second one.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a
Okay.
critical success.
Nice.
So
Take
that's
one of those back.
3.
And how many did you need?
2. And sure enough, you can see behind the bar.
And it's a tag skill, so I think I get 2, right?
You,
No.
If
so
it's within the number that is your tag skill. So like
Yeah.
Yes,
It's-
it is.
your
Yeah,
skill
you
is
get,
for
you
the
get another one back.
no, it's
Because
Yeah.
you rolled
What-
1.
You roll.
I rolled a 2,
So what-
but my
so-
tag skill is
Which is-
a
Oh,
3,
yeah.
right,
so
which means you get
wait. So how many successes did you get?
3 for a difficulty 2 success.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
we
was
got
my
the
tag
action
skill.
point that we needed.
So
No, I get 2 action
Yeah.
points because I rolled a critical success
So-
over the points.
So what a tag skill does is increases the
The
critical
range of
range,
critical, yeah.
so
Right.
that instead of getting 2 successes on a 1, you get 2 successes on whatever number your tag skill is.
yeah, Yeah.
We don't get action points per how many over.
Oh, okay.
just
You only get-
yeah, just
Oh,
one.
Every
I had it-
success
I had it
over
wrong
the
too, okay.
difficulty,
One
you
for
get
the
action
overage.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had 1 success over the difficulty.
So that's 1 action point.
Yeah. You do see behind the bar, as Jebediah kind of opens it up, very similar to the one that Ms. Greta has just disarmed. There is a shotgun trap that has been set to kind of make it harder to access the bar proper. That is the only other trap that is in this area, but it is certainly there.
Seeing this, I'm going to be like, okay, before anyone does anything,
Cut the wire!
don't cut,
Don't cut
the
the
wire.
wire.
Can I try to like disarm it not cutting the wire or like
Make an
helping?
intelligence repair check, difficulty 2.
Can I help?
With what?
How are you going to help?
I am going
I
to
love
grab a
smash.
big piece of metal and just hold it in front of the shotgun in case they fail.
I love that.
It's less help, more
No, no, no,
insurance.
no.
Yeah.
Just like
No, it's awesome.
yeah, just
Yeah.
like stand in front of it.
Just
and
stand
be a
of it with
shield.
like a
Yeah.
big
if,
hunk
if
of
it
metal.
doesn't disarm, I
Yeah.
like that.
And it
Make
makes you
a-
feel calmer, therefore
Yeah.
more able.
Make a survival strength check. And this is just a one dice roll, Vincent, to help. This is difficulty 2.
I did not help.
That's
Actually, yeah, I did not help.
Kind of suiting considering you're just holding all some metal
I'm,
off to the
I'm
side.
really just helping against the damage.
You're helping yourself.
I'll use an action point just to be careful.
Good idea. What they're for.
Okay, so that's what was it?
And roll one more
repair-
die.
2.
Repair intelligence. Oh yeah.
Correct.
Then I roll another one. Nice. Okay, so that's 1 success. I'm gonna use a luck point to re-roll. That's another critical success.
Nice.
Yeah.
Getting back
So-
those action points.
You make your way across the broken glass that is in front of the bar. You crouch down, and with deft hands, having seen Jebediah almost trip this before, and having seen this be tripped almost purposefully before, you
What?
go ahead and you just engage the safety on the shotgun. You then go ahead and disarm the. You can see now as you bend down behind this bar,
Die the fishing line.
there is a fully stocked bar. There's all kinds of alcohol here. You can see the theaters behind the bar, like off and through this hallway. One of them smoking out as the fragmentation grenade was just thrown within. What are you all doing?
I'm looting the bar.
Okay.
Peggy's gonna follow backup as backup sniffs around.
Backup sniffs around and makes
Doors
their
open.
way directly to the bar. Yeah.
I would like to help with Farmer again. Does alcohol count as chems or
It
medicine?
does. But interestingly for you, Miss Greta, it doesn't seem to work here.
Okay.
So you go back behind the bar, you begin to loot this bar, you begin to pull the bottles off, you take the cap off, you immediately take a sip, and it is water. Slightly irradiated water. Not that it matters to you, but it is just plain water. You kind of throw that aside, you pull out another one. It is water also.
What?
Damn.
This
there
is
any-
just colored water, left and right, left and right. You go through them again and again until you notice there is a bottle that reads Sheriff Longhorn's Whiskey. This one seems a little bit different in that it is entirely empty, but still up on the bar. And do you grab this one?
That's weird. So before I grab it, I'm gonna make sure it's not another trap.
Okay.
It's also the one that we heard about in the advertisement, for what it's worth.
With
Oh,
backup,
that's the one
like,
that we need.
pointing,
Yeah.
pointing at it, does that like give him assistance with it, or
No assistance needed. Backup is pointing at it.
Yeah, I would
you heard
grab
about
it
this
then.
in the
Yeah,
advertisement.
that's the one that we heard about. So yeah.
You grab the edge of this bottle and you pull, and instead of coming away in your hand,
It's
it
like a lever.
tilts
Yeah.
and
It's a lever.
rotates. and you hear off in Theater 1, luckily not the one that Jebediah's batted a grenade into, you hear a
Vault door.
something large moving.
Oh, good boy.
Back up and then turns and then leaps over the bar, kind of eats the back legs on the side, and kind of like when dogs hit their back legs, it tilts too far over and
Yeah.
kind of like falls onto the ground, but then gets back up and runs over to the first theater.
Peggy hobbles
I
after
think I
him.
found something.
Are all of you making your way over into Theater 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I check for traps?
You can. So, Jebediah, go ahead and make a perception
To
survival.
be fair, Peggy
I'd
is
also
going
like to
first
be-
unless
yeah.
someone overtakes
I-
Peggy, which is not hard. By
I
the way.
plan to just peer into the darkness, but if I see him starting to root around for traps,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and look.
Make a perception. Everybody make a perception survival check. You've all now been alerted to the danger. You guys all get a very good chance to see any other traps. Miss Greta, was there anything else that you wanted to do?
Just that I can see in the dark because of optical.
You
can.
got your difficulty thing, right?
Yeah, it's
Or
like
difficulty.
-1 to difficulty, so I auto
To see
success.
things.
Single
Yes.
success for Peggy.
Excellent.
I got nothing.
Nothing.
Perception
And-
survival. That's a single success for me as well.
So for you, Peggy, and for you, Ghoul Bob, it takes you a little bit of rooting around in the dark here. But for you, Miss Greta, you can see in the dark, and so you watch as these chuckle fucks just bump into seats. For you, you can see the front 3 rows have slid back to reveal a set of stairs that go down to a large space below the ground. And right as Ghoul Bob and Peggy, kind of from the left and the right, both find this area, you also, Peggy, you almost fall down the first couple steps.
Watch your step.
Miss Greta, you see that there is this area that leads to a 20 by 15 foot basement sort of beneath this theater. And here there is a like even further staircase that goes down, and that leads to a 30-foot high ceilinged chamber in which there is a massive vault door that must be 20 feet high itself. Big
this
yellow
makes
circle on the
more
front that
sense now.
reads 40.
I found it, and she does like a like dryer sound song. Yeah.
Like that. is-
Amazing. That's my favorite little theme song that appliances sometimes play.
Yeah, that's what mine does.
My grandparents
So
used to-
dumb.
So all of you now see that there is this sub
Not a
basement
sponsor.
and a large vault door with the number 40 printed in yellow letters in front of it.
Well, all right, we found it.
How do we open
Knock.
Are you just gonna go over and knock on the door?
Yes.
Okay. Miss
That's
Greta
not
just
how it
floats
works.
across the space and down the stairs.
it? Did we complete this quest?
It just says
Locate Vault
locate
40?
it.
Success.
Hell
You
yeah.
get
Yay.
You
Check it
successfully
out.
completed
Unlock
this.
door to vault.
No, the quest was just to locate
Locate
it.
it.
We're
I
done.
know, but
We
it
can go home.
updates.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's what
Next
I'm
is
saying.
just
It's
open
updated.
door.
So it does
Unlock
update. I
door.
did not actually. I don't know where I put my laminated copy because it's been a couple weeks,
No.
but it now says find a way to access Vault 40.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna start looking
And
around.
Miss Greta
for-
takes the initiative,
Yeah.
floats straight up to the door, and ting ting, the little mechanical arm taps on this door.
I think
If
these
there's
doors are
anything in
pretty
there,
thick.
it's not gonna let us in. And if it is, it's probably something we don't want letting us in.
Why? Humans are not something to be feared.
There
This
is
Some of them are
both
certainly.
both Miss Greta and Peggy have at this point kind of tapped on this, and there is a kind of quick flurry of motion. You see in front of the 40, the space where the kind of door is a flat bit of steel in the middle of that 0. It flips around, and you see a little camera lens, and there is a speaker beneath that, and you hear, "Well, who the hell is out there messing around with our vault? Give me one good reason not to obliterate you with this place's defenses where you stand." And you hear, "Dv, dv," and up overhead you see these 2 turrets descend from the ceiling. They point at you, little red lasers, ting ting, both on you, Miss Greta.
Are those Vault-Tec 3000s?
One of these kind of points over at Peggy.
Hello there. I am Miss Greta, here to help with all of your domestic needs. I come in peace, here only to say hello.
Okay.
Bob, you're pretty persuasive guy. Maybe
Can you make a
should-
speech charisma check?
Oh,
This
damn
is
it.
a difficult with just that as an intro.
You're not Spice.
This is a
I
difficulty
know.
3
Fuck.
charisma speech check.
I
I
don't even think
help
I should
in
roll
some way?
because
How are you helping?
I want to be like, whoa, we don't mean any harm. We're just here passing through a couple of traders. We've got just got some wares here to sell. This is one of my.
You hear over the speakers, traders, you say, and that lowers the difficulty to 2.
Hey.
You can also make a speech charisma check. You can roll 1d20 Ghoulbot to help.
Is it to convince someone of a lie, or is it
What was that?
contested
You did lie.
or opposed?
It's not contested or opposed, and it's not to convince somebody of a
Oh
lie.
boy.
Okay, so just the one.
Just the one check.
And you
then
said
Oliver's rolling
speech
2.
charisma.
Speech charisma difficulty 2.
I'm going to
Is it a
use a
twist?
luck point to switch the absolute luck.
There you go.
Go ahead. Ooh.
That's
That's why I asked the thing guy.
speech charisma.
Tax.
I'm gonna re-roll one. Well, actually, I'll let you roll, and then I'll decide if I re-roll it.
One success.
So I need to re-roll, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
2
that's
successes, barely. That
So
took
2
a lot of
successes,
points.
and you're using your luck really to do this. So they look around, and just at this moment, as you say this, in the distance, a little closer than you'd like, you hear tut, tut, tut of gunfire. And you hear, all right, well, I can't really make up my mind about you yet, but it sounds like we might have company coming soon.
We're pretty
Why don't-
handy against
Why don't you come down and we'll talk a little bit more? Through the door, you hear me?
yeah,
Right,
right.
right,
I don't know
right,
how
yep.
else we're gonna go in there.
All right, all of you step back. You step back. There is this big of air and this big as the vault door recesses slightly back, and then the entire floor shakes as this vault to the side, and you see in front of you just a staircase that goes down. Very wide steel staircase that moves down. Do you take this staircase?
Yes.
You make your way down. You go down the stairs, Miss Greta. You're kind of in front, and so you lead the way, and you make your way into one of the most disappointing spaces that you've ever seen. You can see, though not junk, this is being used for storage. There are several crates and boxes and barrels of like oil and fuel and other things that are being stored here. There is a number of like different like movie posters and bits of junk that you can see. There are like racks that have like useful canned goods and things like that. I would say you see Jebediah's one can of pork and beans that is just up there on the shelf. But beyond that, there is another very secure steel door. And from that, you can see there is a terminal. And on that terminal, you can see the visage of a man looking through this kind of electronic screen. You can see they have red hair. They have kind of a square jaw. They look very suspicious out at you. They do have a little bit of a butt chin as well, if that matters. But they look, who's approaching this thing?
I mean, I think I was. probably behind
After that,
Miss Greta.
Greta just awkwardly stays behind Bob because she's like, I shouldn't be the one to talk anymore, seeing as I'm a bot.
Use that silver tongue of yours, Bob.
So
It is kind of gray. I don't. No,
This
Use that
person-
gray tongue of yours, Bob.
through the screen squints and says, "A ghoul, huh?
Yep, that's me.
Didn't expect that.
No, people usually don't.
I'm Overseer Griggs.
Yeah, the name's Bob.
Bob what?
Bob the Ghoul. I mean, most people don't really ask what the last name is typically. So,
All right, Bob the Ghoul.
I mean, you do really want to, I mean, I do have a last name.
We got Bob in engineering, and we also got Bob in security. So it kind of makes sense for you to be Bob the Ghoul. All right, Bob the Ghoul.
Bob the
What do you
Dragon.
got to trade? What are you looking for?
Well,
How How much do I tell this guy?
That we're there to loot his vault.
You're here to sell a Mr. Handybot. Go ahead.
Well,
and sell him.
We're here to find specifically oil, right? And we believe it's in the vault.
Yeah, we
just to
was.
kind of out of character. That's why we're here.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
but
why
I
we're
mean,
We
here.
also
so-
have
yeah.
dirt
You were told
and-
that the location to that oil field is in a computer in a
Yeah.
vault somewhere. You learned about Vault 40 as being beneath Austin. And so technically, you don't even know for sure that this is the right vault.
Oh, so
Now-
There wasn't a big 40 on the outside?
There was a big 40 on the outside.
Right,
You
but
know
we
that there
don't
is
know that
a
the
Vault 40.
information.
Oh.
You don't necessarily know that this is the right vault.
so what we know is location of the oil field on a computer in a vault.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And
We could
this
just say we're looking
happens
for
to be-
shelter from the people with guns outside. Which we are.
No,
Wow.
just
We're already there for trading, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
He
right.
Exactly.
looks through the screen and he says, well, I'm waiting.
I used to be Mr. Handy Salesman, but now those are pretty hard to come by. Need this one for, protection in the wastelands. But I do have a number of caps, some other supplies that you might be interested in. But we're actually here mostly for information. Looking for something in Austin, and we were told that there might be some info within a vault, and we just happened to find this one trying to escape the raiders.
Also, if you have any of them cute bobbleheads, would be happy to trade for some of them.
Bobblehead. We don't have any bobbleheads. We're also not really looking for caps. I don't know if you ever heard about vaults, but we don't need wasteland survival things.
what do they need?
You need.
They need to help the fellow survivors.
Now, you all wander the wastelands?
Wander is a bit of a strong term. I would say that I travel around.
Well, I'll tell you what I need. I need a whole bunch of things. And if you can go and collect these things from around Texas for me, I'll let you right into this vault. The first thing that I'm going to need is the right-hand door to a red Corvega. Preferably 2010 or later. After that, I'm going to need a case of Nuka-Cola quartz. I'll take, you know what? I've been trying to get my hands on this collection of promotional Nuka-Cola bottles. If you can get me one or two of those, appreciate that. After that, I'm going to have you go ahead and get a water chip. These are important and they're pretty hard to find, but I reckon if you head up to, well, how far are you willing to go? I heard Santown maybe has one.
Wow.
Side quest.
We do have.
And after all of that, I'm going to have you go and I'm going to have you kill a death claw.
Excuse me.
A death claw.
Oh,
Yeah, I-
tap. You
wow.
you feel someone tap you on the top of your head. Yeah, that one. We want that one.
Well, we have to do all of them if we're gonna get.
We need to do all of them. That's a
yeah,
What?
lot.
Done.
So,
That death claw killed my entire family.
I'm sorry
want
for
it
your
dead.
loss.
Peggy taps Bob on the shoulder. If they don't leave the vault, how did Deathclaw kill their family?
How did the Death Claw kill your family? If, pardon, I would assume that they lived with you in the vault.
Well, because we go around scavenging for things like the red door of a Corvega 2010 or later.
May I ask what do you need a red door? Just the door.
That ain't
of-
none of your business. What I do with my doors is my business. What you do with your
This is jive with vault dwellers. This don't sound like vault dwellers.
make a intelligence. I would say, boy, Peggy, you don't know a ton about vault dwellers.
Yeah,
Make an intelligence.
this sounds like my neighbors.
Make an intelligence survival check. We'll call it. And this is a difficulty 4 task. You don't know a ton about this.
Difficulty 4. I'm not spending action points on that.
Hard to tell. Hard to tell.
Does
Okay, you get an action point, GM.
Okay. I'll take it.
It's not a tag skill for me.
does
I don't know how to put
the
my points.
thing about the door remind me of anything Brotherhood related? Like, is that a piece of equipment that might be useful for like repairing power armor or anything like that?
I would say for free, there's nothing Brotherhood like. The Brotherhood do go after pre-war tech. A door on a Corvega sounds a little bit more like a
Passion project.
Yeah, a passion project. Maybe somebody who's like misinformed about what they really need.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this is more of maybe a want item.
Someone's,
But-
trying to get
someone's
rid of
in there
us.
trying to make us do some busy work.
To you,
Yeah,
Bob,
yeah.
this person says, there used to be 16 of us. Now we're down to 4. It's just Bob, and me here.
Peggy's
That's
like,
3.
Well, and Lisa, if you count her, but she's pretty quiet. And when half of you are Bob, things get a little nutty.
I see that. Yeah, that
Go
makes
by
sense.
Robert? No? Okay.
But he turns and he says, if you'll agree to do all this, I'll let you in and maybe we can get you some information to get you started.
Well,
Peggy's like in the background.
I think we're amenable to this situation.
I'll have the
Maybe.
Bobs come and let you in. Both of the Bobs, even though one of them's an engineer. They're going to be working security today, so be on your best behavior.
Well, we don't mean any trouble. Fair warning, we are traveling with a super mutant, but he is,
It's the big green thing you see in the back. I don't know if you can see it in your cameras.
Yeah, no, I can see the
Turn
super
around.
mutant. I think just about everybody can see the
He's-
super mutant.
He's cool. Don't
he's
worry.
tame. Don't
I don't know
worry.
what kind of range you got on
Tame.
that camera there.
You tame super mutants?
Well,
That seems kind of fucked up, fella.
well, not tame I mean tame in the sense that he's not one of the super mutants that is terrorizing the area.
I'm gonna be
Big
honest
Tex,
with
have
you. And
heard
you
of
hear the
him?
door unlock, but he goes, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought for a ghoul you do better. But the
Well-
door unlocks and it opens and you can see gleaming steel beyond beautiful. You've never seen anything so clean. This is a gorgeous hallway. The lights are bright. And beyond, you see 2 individuals wearing this like heavy ballistic weave like armor, kind of padded over blue vault suits. They're wearing these ballistic helmets. They have these like riot shields and these like big clubs. But they are like kind of standing on side and they take a step back and invite is the wrong word, but they allow you to enter.
Are
It
they-
is very narrow.
Are they skinny in that ballistic weave, or are they looking kind of beefy?
We're looking kind of beefy, especially compared to people that you've seen.
I'm confused. Why are they letting us in?
They're letting you in and they're going to give you some information to get you started on this laundry list of tasks.
Oh, Bob, can you also ask them if they have any dirt in the vault? I need to get some vault dirt for
I'll
the
ask
doctor.
when we get, yeah. when we
Through
get-
like the riot helmet, you can see the 2 Bobs exchange glances, and the first one looks to you and goes, "Guys, we got to get moving. Come on.
Yeah.
There's danger."
Yeah.
Lead the way, Bobs.
They turn and they allow you to kind of enter. One of the Bobs goes first and the other one kind of leads behind. And so all of you have to walk narrowly, single file. For those of you who are used to being in like the open Texas wasteland, this is a 5-foot wide hallway that is maybe 8 feet tall. There are pipes and things that run along and make it even more cramped. And so this is very narrow.
Ow,
Where's your
ow,
patina?
ow.
Everything's so
Ow.
silver.
They turn and there is like a quizzical look, but they say, "We don't really have time to talk about that. We got to get going." And in that moment, you hear a loud explosion come from behind all of you.
Oh,
Oh,
And
that sounded like a
Madeline,
bag.
as you turn and look, you can see the sweep of a very familiar looking flashlight. But because it is 150, how about I bring out the encounter map and
Oh,
we can
God, we
kind
gotta
of
clear out
see
so
what
much
we're
stuff.
all walking into. Yeah, you guys can make a little space. After that, we will go to a break, and then when we come back, it looks like we'll be rolling into initiative as you guys took a little time to enter. Ugh.
Good. It's been
But
a
I
while
need
since we
I'll
bought
need a-
something.
Which one are you using?
I have no idea which one's which. This one's the actual one that goes on this.
I'm
side.
Kara is okay with like
Yes, it is.
these bald
I'm
guys just
100% sure.
eating shit.
Yeah, there's only 4 of them.
Yeah, if we get
Maybe
the guys
this can be our vault now.
exactly, and then they're wearing ballistic weave. I want that.
Yeah.
I was gonna have to craft that.
I thought you already have ballistic weave.
No, I have a lab coat that can have ballistic weave.
Oh, gotcha.
That's why I said
Got
there's a lot
that
of sewing involved.
cool.
Oh, it's gonna come a little bit closer to
You guys
the
just
side of the
we?
table. Oh, you think?
Can you move that?
We off the map, yo.
Here's our guys.
So
That's the elevator.
you all entered. This is the really disappointing storage area, and you are making your way now in here. So you guys are right around this intersection.
Nice.
Let me go ahead and place my vault
It
dwellers.
also doesn't fit in there. tip of the dice is just too big.
Let's see. So
He can duck.
this is Bob, right? Which way were they heading us? This way?
This is the other Bob.
So it's probably gonna look something like this.
Yep.
Peggy
and
is
then-
definitely not at the end.
Were you at the end?
Probably.
If I'm looking behind me, then probably, yeah.
And then Bob is right here.
Bringing up the rear.
With other Bob.
And you know what? And then I will show you the rest of this when we come back from break. But thank you for joining us for this session of Fallout Black Hearts of Texas. We'll be back at the end of your countdown, which is somewhere on your screen.
We don't remember where.
We don't remember where, but we'll see you
I
at the
think
end.
it's down there.
Maybe over there.
Bye.
Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, you're joining us right in the middle of Fallout Black Heart of Texas. And the music is going to get a little different because we are going to be rolling straight into a little bit of combat.
Oh, so it is combat. It's not a
Oh,
puzzle.
yeah.
It's not a social interaction.
And let me go ahead and put this encounter map up on our table. You can see it a little bit here. You can see it in much greater detail at Alberon RPG on Instagram, on Threads, on Blue Sky, all those different things when photos come up. If
People take pictures.
people take pictures.
Quick note: Peggy's lab coat is in her backpack because she recognizes that the tough clothing is better for the wasteland,
Okay.
and she'll put the lab coat on for different situations. So right now, tough clothing,
Lab-
even though Kara's wearing lab coat.
No problem.
Were you able to figure out how long it'll take me to take my gun barrel out?
I'll say we can do it in a turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll-
So, there is an explosion, and behind you, you can see these lights begin to flash and swirl across. And here in this space, Madeline, for you in particular, especially being at the back of this group, you see the almost unmistakable signs of Brotherhood of Steel armor making its way towards you. You can tell,
How much do I know about like weaknesses of the armor that I can share with the group beyond what
You-
anybody would know?
I would say that you know from these kind of headlamps that they're wearing power armor, what kind it might be, hard to tell. If these are relatively well-equipped individuals, you are probably looking at power armor that is substantially stronger than what you've come across before. They are probably wearing the armor that you are looking for. This is a little bit newer. You had seen it at a distance, very bright bulbs in this armor. This is not just T51 armor. This is probably T60.
It's probably T60 armor.
And you hear the loud
Oh, no, that
sounds
means-
of power armor making its way towards all of you. All right, let me go ahead and...
No.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Let me record initiative. I always forgot how initiative works here.
I think it's just perception plus agility.
Everybody has an initiative score just already. I'm just looking to see what my guys are. All right, that is 12 and 17. Anybody 20 to 15? Okay, anybody 15?
Sorry, 17.
17. All right. So Madeline, you will actually be going first. Then the paladins. 15 to 10.
11 for Miss
Oh.
Greta.
12.
Also 12 for Bob.
Okay, so the way that I think that this makes sense is it will go Peggy, Bob, Greta. Then after that, also tying at 12, is going to be the Knights. All right, and then 10 to 5. Jebediah, where are you coming in
8.
at? Yeah, 8. All right, that is between 10 and 5. So, Jebediah, the way that this shakes out, Madeline will be starting us off. Then the Paladins will be going. Those are the two individuals wearing power armor. After that, Peggy will be going. Then Bob. Then Greta. Then the Knights, who are the rest of the Brotherhood of Steel individuals. And following that, at the very bottom of everything, Jebediah. Following Jebediah, at 4 are the Vault Dwellers. So, Madeline, you are starting us off. You see these things happening, but looking to your left, you see Peggy kind of hobbling in front of you. To your right, you can see Bob, the second, kind of taking up this space. What are you doing?
So, I'm sorry, is this open or is that a door?
That is a door, but the door is left open when you all entered.
Okay. All right, Madeline's gonna be like, shoot, why did I put it's so cramped in here? And she's gonna start screwing off the vented barrel off her gun.
So furiously, you begin to swap barrels in the heat of the moment, knowing that this is just a little too long for this narrow
This
space.
is absolute. This ain't no wasteland at all.
Madeline, Madeline, that was good. That got me. Madeline, anything else?
Can I move also? Is that my whole turn?
I would say that's the full turn, and you're taking it off and putting the new one on.
No, it's just.
Oh, just to take it off. Gotcha. No problem. So I would say if you want to do that, you can move as well.
Okay. And can we move through friendlies in this game the same way you can in
I
D&D?
don't believe so, but let me just double check.
Otherwise, I'm staying where I am, I suppose, because I'm blocked in.
I don't think they really specify because they don't even play with movement grids. They just talk about zones and moving within a zone.
Right.
That's true. Up to you, boss.
Yes, you can move through them because I agree. That makes sense. That is a zone.
So, Madeline's gonna be like, I'd like to think for flavor, she's like moving and screwing the thing off and like,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right, we
for
got
sure.
company. And as she's moving through, she's like, it's T60 armor, it's much stronger, so just everybody be ready. And she's just gonna make her way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Back here, be like, she's like, I'm not running. My gun is long. It's ranged. It's okay. I'm not running.
As Madeline runs away, professes that she's not running,
then I
unscrewing the
stop.
barrel.
I run, but then I stop.
Fair enough. The stopping is the important part. That is your turn, Madeline. That brings us to the paladins. So these paladins are quite large. And they will take up the bulk of this space. Excuse me. Around. Taking up this space. He will go end up right here outside. Madeline, from where you are, you hustle down the hall and you turn. Everybody, you turn as the sound of the power armor begins to echo off the hallway. And you can see coming around the corner a full suit of T60 power armor, and they are wielding an improved long laser rifle. Unmistakable to you, Madeline, is the sigil of the Brotherhood of Steels. The sword, the gears, like almost a bad memory come to life here in this space. This has been freshly painted on. Sometimes you can see like little drips of paint. This is a field job, not something that was done back at base. So this almost certainly the Texas tuxedo that you are looking for.
She pulls her hat down low and like, you know, she does like, I mean, she's already wearing a hat and sunglasses, but this is like the Marvel, you know, disguise.
Absolutely.
Like,
You
hoping
pull
nobody
it down deep.
recognizes her.
And in this moment, they are going to take an attack against this engineering Bob. That is going to be a critical success and also a regular success. It is only an unarmed strike, as they are kind of close quarters combat here.
Mr. Brotherhood, don't damage that ballistic wave there!
So, you watch as they take this rifle, they aim it, but in the narrow space, they just take it and take the butt and jam it straight into this person's torso.
There you go.
The ballistic weave shatters
God damn it!
along with their sternum as they take a torso injury and they just begin sucking in breath. They drop the weapon, barely manage to like hold on to it. They sag down to a knee. They are badly hurt. They're still alive, but they look very, very poor. This person turns the rifle now, aims it towards you, Peggy, the next person in their sight. But that is all that they can do on their turn.
I can fix that.
The other person cannot shoot around corners, so that is all that the paladins can do.
Is he like prone?
He's not prone now. That was for flavor. That is the paladins. That brings us to Peggy. Bob, you are on deck.
Which Bob?
The only one I have to talk to.
Vault-Tec guys can like, they go after us, right?
Initiative 4.
Cool. Shit. All right. Well.
Can't you delay your turn?
Can you delay your turn?
I don't believe so.
Major actions:
There's-
command, defend, first aid, pass,
You can go
rally,
faster.
ready. You can ready an action.
Okay. I am going to. Peggy is going to ready an action.
Okay.
She's going to draw the Molotov cocktail and like get ready to light it. And she's basically just gonna shout, now, Mr. Vault-Tec guy, you might want to move out of the way.
Okay, you shout that out. They've been given a fair warning. And what are you doing? You're preparing the action to...
The trigger is when the dude runs away. It doesn't matter which way. Peggy's gonna throw the Molotov at the power armor.
Sounds good. You prepare that action. Anything else, Peggy?
That is what it is.
All right. Bob the Ghoul. Greta, you are on deck.
Jeez.
Actually, can Peggy switch with Jebedias? Peggy would definitely jump behind Jebedias.
There you go. You switch spots, Jebedias. You find yourself kind of shoved forwards as Peggy makes their way down.
His face doesn't fit in the hallway.
Yeah, and for you, your shoulders like kind of pinned in. This is for you and the power armor. You're both very squished
Peggy
in.
like clambers over you. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Will I-
get there, bud.
Will I be able to use my sledgehammer in this space?
You will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun, but you will.
Oh my god.
Anything else, Bob?
I haven't done anything.
So anything, Bob.
Yeah. So Bob's got to help Bob's. It's an unspoken rule.
Yep.
So Bob's gonna bob over to here,
He's bobbing.
around this
Bob through the
corner.
crowded hallway and around the corner.
Bob,
Running
Bob.
past, being like, "Ah, god damn it!" And pat Jebediah's on the back and be like, "All right, go help him out, buddy. I got your back." And then minor action, I'm gonna aim,
Okay.
and then I'm going to, if I don't have a shot at this angle, I'm going to ready to shoot when this guy comes in a little more.
Yeah, you can't see around the corner, but you certainly can ready it. So you and Peggy kind of bracing in the hall. It feels like the Rebel Alliance corridor and the opening of A New Hope. You feel this power armor tremble the whole structure every time they
Right
step.
there.
Yeah, there is fear, but you wait. You have these actions ready.
And then I'm going to be like, "Get back, Bob!"
You hear, which one? But that is your turn.
Yes!
That's cool.
We're episode 4 Star Wars. The power armor is Rogue One Darth Vader.
Yeah, for sure. That brings us to Greta, and then the rest of the Brotherhood will go.
Greta is going to say, "Oh dear, this hallway is a bit crowded, isn't it?" And then you hear the whir of her buzzsaw arm start to go, and she's going to aim for the wall directly adjacent to her and start cutting into it.
Phenomenal. So are you trying to create a new door?
What?
You trying to create a new door?
Yes.
Absolutely phenomenal. So for this, what I will say is this can be a repair agility check.
Okay, I'll take it.
And this, to create a clean door, will be a difficulty. I would say this is difficulty 2. It's really strong steel. You have the tools that you need for the job, but in this moment, to do it quick,
You want to buy any dice?
that's pretty tough.
I'm going to use a luck point so I don't have to use agility because I suck at agility.
And I will say, Miss Greta, in this moment, being a robot and kind of knowing innately that there are like kind of systems running underneath this, I would say that you know, Greta, that at the very worst, your optical sensor, cracked though it may be, peaks up. You can see that there is a line of coolant that runs along the ceiling. Even if you fail, you could succeed at a cost.
Okay.
You'd probably lose your buzzsaw.
That cost will probably be very costly to Peggy and Bob Engineering, or Bob Security.
All right. Well, I took the aim, so I can re-roll one of these d20s.
Excellent.
So. Okay.
This lump is not very helpful.
She's fine. So that's one success, and I'm re-rolling this second one.
Okay. Nice!
Oh, nice! Natural 1.
Very
or is it
nice.
natural 20?
That's a
It's a
natural
natural
Oh,
one.
yeah, it
That's
is
Natural
a
one,
five
natural
natural
dice.
one. So phenomenal. In this moment, you have a very, very narrow space that you can cut away where the steel is incredibly thin because there is nothing important underneath. And you shred with 2 big slashes this X in the steel, and then using your own body, you burst through, and it just peels out and away. And it's not a neat door, but you have a very useful door.
Here's
Absolutely.
Peggy feels
Yes,
like a tingle
Greta.
on her back as she's like, "This feels bad."
And what
Oh,
I
that feels
will
less
do
bad.
is For this,
It's
I'll
like-
remove this rack, and this is where that opening is. You
Yes.
can make straight through there.
But also somehow still bad. Why does her back feel exposed?
Peggy, you're aiming in one direction. Bob, you're aiming in one direction, and Greta just turns and creates a doorway behind you.
God damn it!
We had them bottlenecked.
Anything else, Greta?
Oh, I'm useful. Ha!
That brings us to the rest of the Brotherhood. They turn, and there is no doorway directly in front of them. And Miss Greta is right there, and so they form a firing line.
Is Miss Greta a rogue agent of the Brotherhood?
It kind of
It
seems like it
turns
at this
out
point.
I've been with the Brotherhood this whole time! I'm a
Alana has
spy.
pointed out that maybe you're still wearing that little black dress.
Oh yeah, you're wearing the sequin black dress. I forgot about that.
Hey, they wouldn't
yeah.
shoot at her, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
they
I'm
certainly
camouflaged.
will.
No one shoots at a lady in a ball gown.
Or
Yeah.
at the very least, they're laughing too hard at Mr. Handy and a black
They wouldn't
Big
shoot
crease
because
into
it's
the
valuable
body.
technology that they would be commandeering
That's true. They love
for the Brotherhood.
Okay, so each of these individuals is going to take shots with their long laser rifle.
Love it.
For the first one, that is going to be, and sorry, for this, I'm trying to remember now. It's
I
been a
don't fucking
second
know
since
how
we
it
played this. I am aiming for. Attack. Alright. What is your defense?
Well, it depends on where they hit, right?
Do you have more than one defense score?
Yeah, I've got optics, arm, main body.
Those are your
That's-
resistances.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
defense is just a single number up there.
You have one defense.
I've got one defense.
They rolled 1 success for the first attack, and so that will be a hit. That is going to be 5 points of piercing energy damage. Sorry, that is going to be 5 dice worth of piercing damage, which is. What is the little guy on the damage dice?
So that's 1 damage plus effect. And you said piercing?
Yeah.
So how many guys is it piercing 1?
And also
Yes.
where.
So how many
It
faces did you
matters
roll?
where.
So that is 5 piercing damage,
Five piercing
as
damage.
all of them have faces on them.
Damn.
So that's 5 damage and they
So
and
where?
pierce 5.
They are, yeah. Sorry, right, where? In the head.
Ooh, bummer.
And so
That's
as
where your eyes are.
you rip this door open and you are shot directly in the head, this first person just unloads on you.
So
That's
your
I think that's an
optics
injury.
Are, your
Yeah.
optics are out because you're injured from up there because you don't have any.
But I-
health from that, or you don't have any more.
Right, so I already took the optics off, and so 5 goes directly to my
No,
hit
no, no.
point pool.
It's not 5 directly because it still had the physical damage resistance of 2. So you take.
No, it's
3
piercing.
No, it's piercing.
It's all
so it
piercing. All
goes
5 of
through.
it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I didn't hear that.
No, no
Okay,
worries.
so
It's,
yeah,
it's
5.
unusual for it to all be
Yeah.
piercing.
Okay. So then yeah, you do take 5 damage to your max.
And I'm blinded.
With the second one, that is going to be a single success, which I believe is a hit.
What's your defense?
It's only one.
Okay.
Yep. And so with that second one, that is going to be 3 piercing and 2 regular damage.
Where?
That is going to be to the right leg, which is your thrusters. And then the final shot,
Wait, how many points? Sorry.
that was 3 piercing and 2 regular points of damage. And that is energy damage.
So I have a
You have
1 energy and then 2 physical.
So you take 1 energy damage and 3 regular piercing damage.
Okay.
And then the final shot is going to be a single success, which is a hit. Okay, much better for you. That is just going to be 2 points of piercing damage.
Where?
I keep forgetting to roll this dice. That is going to be in the left arm.
Pierce how many?
2 piercing.
Okay.
Of energy or?
Energy, yeah. But it's piercing, so it goes straight through.
Okay.
That is all of the nights as you open the door, Miss Greta, you are just ripped apart by laser fire that just fills this gap. But that is all of the nights. That is all that they can do. And that does bring us to Jebediah's.
Go get him, big guy.
Let's see. I would like to ready an action to when this guy moves away and after an explosion happens in that area or something, because I can see Peggy, like, I heard Peggy saying move out of the way and has like a Molotov in her hand.
Yep.
So after she throws it, I'm gonna ready an action to just run up to this paladin and hit him with my sledgehammer.
Phenomenal. Okay, so you grip the sledgehammer. You look behind you. Peggy's holding the Molotov. You look the other way. Bob has his pistol. You look behind you. Greta just getting torn apart by laser fire. And you're like, no, I'll go this way. You ready your action for this person to catch on fire, and then you will charge and hit. That is your turn. Jebediah is held. That does bring us to the Vault Dwellers. Bob, who has just got walloped in the chest, they are hurt. They are barely breathing. They're going to turn around and try to run. They will make their way. And Jebediah, Peggy, and Bob, they're going. Do you consider this guy an ally?
I mean, he's
Yeah, we'll let him
Bob.
pass.
Okay, he's
Yeah,
going to run
Bob.
straight past all of you, and they are also going to take a full action move to get around the corner as well.
To here.
I
right-
thought
right
you
there.
were security.
They run, they're sucking energy, and as they go, I'm Bob Engineering! And they make their way through. Bob Security, on the other hand, will turn, and they will ready an action to fire their weapon when this power armor moves.
Okay.
That is the
aiming
Bob's.
down
The
this
other
Actually,
Vault
this Bob
Dwellers-
can actually see these guys.
Oh, that's right, he can! There
As-
is that door.
And is my thing triggered because he moved out of the way?
Oh, right.
You still can't see this power armor around that corner, because these
Yeah.
are like straight walls.
Okay.
So they still need to make their way around, but you're holding that action.
Well, I thought your action was just when Bob moves away.
So you can. Does it have? It has a blast radius, right? You certainly can. Yeah, absolutely. So you wing this Molotov cocktail. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh no.
How many successes do I need?
It's
One.
defense, right?
Yeah, defense 1.
All right. Yeah, I want to use a point.
Okay.
It's probably got high damage resistance though.
Probably.
Every little bit counts.
Indeed.
It's true.
So it's
You're a little bit
explosives
goopy,
and what's the other one?
Uh,
It's perception, right?
I believe it's
If you
explosive
count,
perception.
So that is 2 on the die successes, but they're both tag skills, and my tag skill is 4, and
That is
I
a
rolled
hit.
3s, so that's 4 successes total.
That is a hit.
Ooh, that maxes our action point.
And go ahead and
Nicely
roll
done.
damage on that. And roll location as well, because I keep
Can
forgetting.
you roll a location, please?
Yes.
That's a right arm,
Okay.
and I get an extra die because it's vicious.
That's not what vicious does. Vicious means 1 damage on faces.
Oh,
Additional 1 on faces.
oh, I see. Well, no faces.
Damn.
That's a cock.
Go on.
Right, that's true.
And then I can use
Oh.
I can use
How'd that
something
get
to
there?
Hate to find him
reroll.
there.
1 luck point
not
rerolls
where they
up to
go.
3 combat dice.
Heard. Let's just spend one of them. So I want to do more than that.
There you go.
That's much better. And yes, that's a vicious point there.
The rate of fire
So
is
1,
how
2,
many?
3. So it's 3,
4.
4
Yeah.
total points of energy damage, and it's a persistent.
And that is on the arm.
Yeah, right arm.
Okay. The arm catches light, and you see slowly the helmet looks down and then looks back up, and it appears to have done no damage.
Interesting.
Oh no.
You imagine that you have not broken through the resistance with 4 points of damage.
Alright. Does my raid action of the explosive thing has been thrown? Do I run up and
You
hack?
absolutely can't. So
Oh.
that was the signal you run through. This is persistent fire damage.
Yes.
How much persistent damage?
It says
It's the
damage affects
same damage.
persistent.
It's the same damage, so it'll be another 4 damage.
Okay, cool.
For 1 more round, because
No
you only
worries.
rolled 1.
So
Effect.
they're for what it's worth, you're hitting them. They are on fire right now. They don't seem to be getting hurt by it.
So I want to attack him, and I'm spending 3 action points for an extra 2 die.
Sure.
And what's the difficulty?
The difficulty for this defense 1.
Oh, then I probably don't need that much die, but I already spent it. And I'll hit him with my sledgehammer.
Do it.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to only buy 1 extra. I believe in myself. Why did I say that out loud?
I don't know.
Oh my god!
Damn.
Actually, hold on. What is my number that I need? Oh! 1 success.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
That's
do I
what
roll
you need.
damage?
Go ahead and roll damage. You hit them. They are a power armored individual with you and them in the hallway. When you swing, there is literally no way to miss. You either are going to hit them or yourself.
I hit him in the left leg.
There you go.
Alright, and Joe, this is, okay, so let me just count the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage
Okay.
with stun and pierce 1, 2, 3, 4, pierce 4.
Okay. So 11 damage 4, which is piercing.
Yep,
Excellent.
and it's also stun.
So in total, you slam into their leg. That only deals 4 points of damage to their leg. But with the
Really?
piercing damage, that is still an injury. And so you slam the sledgehammer in. It is like there is something within the head of it that speeds the momentum, and it flies forwards. And with even more force than you should be able to generate, it cracks into the metal. There is a deafening splinter and a squeal as machinery now grinds against damaged bits. Phenomenal strike. Anything else? Jebediah?
Oh, I love this thing. Yeah, that's it. He
Alright.
gets an injury, right?
He does. He has an injury to his leg.
So I think that means he's prone and then some other stuff, but I'll look that up.
He is not prone. In the power armor, he doesn't fall prone.
Oh, interesting.
It changes his mobility for sure, though.
Okay.
And in that hallway, that's very unfortunate. If there was only one doorway, this would be a very difficult battle for the Brotherhood to fight.
Damn.
But
really
anything else,
thought I was all
Jebediahs? You kind of were.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Jebediahs?
No, that was just my raid action,
It
so I'm
works
done.
both
Okay.
for and
So,
against us.
That is the Vault Dwellers. That is all the readied actions. That does bring us to the top of the round. Madeline, for you, where you are, you can see now. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of combat. Could I have spent a luck point for my mysterious savior feat?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about.
Oh, you took it too.
I took the mysterious.
Stranger.
Stranger.
So we'll see whether or not that will come into play. But remind me if it doesn't so I can refund you that point.
You got it.
No worries. So that is Madeline. Madeline, for where you are, you have unscrewed the barrel. You hoist up this combat rifle, and where you look over, Greta has opened the door, and laser fire pours in. And from the laser fire pouring in, you can see an older set of T-51 power armor. Not just an older set. You recognize this set. Not just this set. You recognize this person.
Oh dear.
This is Paladin Regulus, and when you were a initiate in the Brotherhood, this was a person who tormented you. And their back is to you right now. They are focused on this hallway, but that is what you see. What are you
Travel
doing here,
bullies
Madeline?
here.
So,
Get
okay, he's just no, he's. I need to like take a step back. Remember the 5-foot step in D&D 3.5? That was awesome. I'm going to. Y'all mind if I spend an action point to get another minor action?
Get at it.
Doing it. All right, so
what they're
I'm
for.
going to take a move minor action just to scoot back. Can I still see him?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so now I'm gonna take the aim minor action. As a person who knows this armor well,
Yep.
do I know where the best spot to aim at is?
I would say because you are intimately familiar with this armor, you know, like most things, the head is the weakest place. You are specifically using physical damage, and so you also happen to know that the arms and legs a little bit weaker than the torso.
All right. Well, fuck this guy. It's headshot time. Okay, because I've taken the aim action and my weapon is accurate, I get to choose the hit location for free. So I'm gonna be aiming at the head. Okay, so it's just a regular roll to see if you hit, right?
Correct. Defense 1.
Defense 1. So that is
Did you roll 1 or 2 d20s?
2,
Okay.
right? It's,
Yeah, you do 2.
It's 2 successes.
Okay, so that is a hit.
And I'm hitting him in the head, and I have a firing rate of 2, so I'm gonna shoot him 2 times. And that's, so I need 5 of these bad boys. Is there one more of these D6s?
You can use these.
I can give you this one if you want.
Oh, thank you. I don't know why I said just like these guys.
I do too, they're great.
Alright, so there's one. Hold on, I have something for this. I'm gonna use finesse to re-roll these dice. Like that damage. Whoa!
Well, that's a nice roll.
Alright. Oh, is he aware of my presence?
He is not, his back is to
Okay.
you.
So this is a sneak attack, meaning the damage was, or excuse me, the difficulty was reduced by 1, but it doesn't
Nice.
matter.
What was the difficulty again?
1.
1.
It does matter for the effects of getting.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Hell
we're
yeah.
full
You're
up.
welcome. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. And then I'm gonna fire again.
Okay, so 9 points of damage to the head?
Yeah.
And that is physical damage?
Yes.
Okay, that deals 2 points of damage.
Nice. And I'm gonna fire again.
Where are you? Within.
Just a little jaunt
so
angles
for
that's
me,
1,
but
2,
I-
3, 4, 5,
I needed to
6
know,
points of
yeah.
damage.
I'm already there.
To the head again?
Yeah.
That just pings right off.
Yeah. All right. Do I feel like he has seen me?
Not seen, but like the head ting and slowly begins to turn. Yeah, certainly aware that you are there.
All right.
Shooting somebody in the head does that.
It does. It does. Can you break up movement in Fallout?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, that's my turn then.
Okay, no problem. That being said, though, I mean, I think you could kind of just shoot. Well, no, because did you aim?
I did.
Okay, so yeah, I think you probably have to stop there.
I mean, yeah, if I could have come around the corner here, but I need to be able to see
Yeah,
him,
I think
so-
you need to be there to see.
Yeah.
So no worries. That is your turn, Madeline. But that does bring us to the Paladins. They finish this turn, and through everything, they can see you. First, the Paladin who is over by you, Jebedias, looks over at you after you slam into their leg. They wince, but they say, "Stop resisting!" through this helmet, and they're going to take a attack against you. Jebedias, first, they're going to start, well, actually, they'll say, "Stop resisting!" They're going to turn, and they're going to look at the row of knights, and to the first one nearest to them, they're going to say, "Fire at the traitor!"
Oh,
They're going to use the chain that binds, and they are going to instead force one of their knights to make an attack, and the paladin will assist using a charisma and speech check. So this knight will take a shot at you, Madeline.
Do I see him at this point now from where I am, or is it still?
You are looking straight at a metal wall, yeah.
I mean, I'm further. I'm at the corner, ready to shoot.
You're seeing neither of them at this point. The one that is near Vincent isn't moving. It is just turning and issuing a command to one of the knights, who is then going to fire at Madeline. Madeline, that is going to be 2 successes. What is your defense?
2.
There
Beats
you
it,
go.
beats it.
Beats it, beats it. And so with this, the knight is using this long laser rifle. That is going to be 2 piercing and then 2 regular physical damage for a total of 4 physical damage. And that is going to be against your torso. You take that shot. Oh, actually, sorry. But they get to make a
Are we
assist.
using the cover rules, and does she have cover?
We are using the cover rules. I would say you do have cover, yeah. But it doesn't matter because when the paladin assists, it's a single success, which would add another one to that success to 3. Additionally, it technically is a critical. I don't think that matters for successes with assists, though.
Okay, so I have physical damage resistance of 1 on the torso.
So you take 3 damage
3
total.
damage. Okay.
What cover does, I think it just reduces damage, depending on the type of cover.
Okay.
Um,
Let me double check. Give me one
It's
second.
like you roll like, oh, here it is. Cover. If you're attacked by a ranged weapon from behind cover, you roll d6s depending on the strength of the cover to add the damage to the DR. So like weak foliage, plywood, that's 1d6. This is probably strong. It's concrete or steel, so
Yeah,
we would roll
yeah.
3d6 and reduce that from damage.
Oh, very nice.
Wow.
Okay. So, give me one
My
second.
husband.
Tap.
For what it's worth, though, that okay, no worries. Okay, you take a single point of damage.
Damn, cover is good.
It is
I
good.
don't want to shit on myself, but doesn't that mean he would have had cover too?
Yeah, it does. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce that as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
So as you shoot at your knight ally, it does no damage, but they are aware of your presence. The first one does say turn and fire at the traitor. The knight obeys its command. Now the paladin is going to turn and, hearing this traitor remark, will see you. And they will cross over and stand directly in front of Greta. They're lugging this crate along, latched to their back.
Huh?
And I would say, as they cross this space, Peggy, you see attached to this huge power armored knight a crate that could only contain one thing. You've seen these, you've dreamt about them, you've seen them in magazines, you have little clippings cut out of them. This is the kind of case that stores a fat man. You know that within this there is a device that, though primitive, is designed to sling large warheads a great distance. This is something that you've heard about being in the distance. But at this moment, they aim their weapon at you, Madeline, and they're going to fire. I will give you my lone action point. They're going to fire twice, and they're going to use their maximum fire rate.
Do I
Which
see this person?
you do.
Can I use my readied action to attack?
You can. Let me just
Yeah,
resolve
yeah.
all this because it gets a little confusing otherwise. All right. So this is going to be first an attack against your defense. That is going to be 2 successes, which is a hit, correct?
I'm sorry, this is on
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have that dice back? I need my dice.
It's somewhere over there.
Just one of
D20?
the, yeah,
No,
no,
it's
the damage dice.
Oh, sorry.
The
Oh, I'll use that. That's great. Thank you. Okay.
these are
Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So first, against your right arm, you are taking 4 points of energy damage and then 3 points of energy damage that are piercing.
Damn.
Then the second attack.
Wait. 4
So do you have damage resistance in your arm?
Yeah.
How much?
Against energy 1. So the piercing takes that. So I take all 4 damage.
4 damage, correct.
Okay. Are you counting the cover rules or?
No, let me do that now. And you can reduce that by 1. And then I'll do that going forward as I remember to do it. The second attack is going to be 3 successes, which will be a hit.
Yeah.
Let me just pull damage die away then, and then I'll just roll half instead for the cover. And though they hit you, Madeline, you take no damage. This cover just kind of ricocheting off as they are unable to find you in the smoke of the various attacks that are happening. That is all that this individual can do. That brings me to Peggy. Bob, you're on deck.
do I get
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Bob. Take your reaction, your prepared attack.
Did you spend action points for him to take a turn?
He didn't. All he did was just use
the
the
minor
chain that
action?
binds.
Yeah.
Is that a major
It's a major
action?
action, yeah.
He didn't have any because he was stunned.
Oh, that's true. Fair enough. Then.
So you would have had to spend 2 action points for that. So maybe just the next 2 you would get, you'll just not get them.
Well, what I can do, I also used the fire rate 2 and burned additional ammo. I didn't roll the damage for that, so
Oh, call it even.
we'll call it even.
Sounds good.
I noticed it after the fact and just didn't say anything.
Difficulty 1?
Huh?
Difficulty 1 on this?
Difficulty 1, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna spend an action point to roll an extra d20.
Okay.
And I'm going to aim for the head.
Okay. So that makes it 1 difficulty higher, so difficulty 2.
That's
Somehow those are both cocked on each other. It's your thing is
Hot.
some people are into that.
Yeah,
that's one
It's called
success,
boxing.
though. Those are both.
Maybe it's the
It's
dice
this-
tray.
Yeah, the dice tray has like a lump in it. Nice.
Should get it they should get it checked out.
2
Hang out with Dan's dice
successes.
tray. 2 successes. That is a meets it beats it. So go ahead and roll damage
That's
on
3
it.
successes.
And
no?
roll
Because one was a. Oh, that's not.
Oh
one.
no, this
roll
was
the
it was a
location
7.
also.
I aimed
Oh,
for the head.
There you go.
And so that's gonna be, and that's with my thing, so that's 5d6, and I'm gonna spend some action points to make more damage.
I believe you spent ammo to do that up to the fuel rate, up to the fire rate.
I believe
That's
there's
only for
also.
melee. I
Oh,
think.
is it only for melee?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
if your weapon has the accurate feature, then you could do that. But
Gotcha.
I'll double check.
Okay. Well, does the beam focuser, I think, does give me... Oh, no, that increases the range. No. Okay. But that's still... I need some of the damage dice.
How many more do
actually.
you need?
3. And then I do have a rate of 2, so I guess I can do more. Right?
Okay, so just mark off the ammo expenditure.
All right.
You had an additional d6 of damage die for every
For
ammo
every
that you're
one
spending
I
up
use,
to the
yeah.
rate.
Yep. So I'm going to expend 2, so I'll roll 2 more of these. All right. So that's 2 heads and a 2, and then 2 blanks and another head. So 5.
And then does your weapon have any effects?
Piercing.
Okay, so that is 2 heads that go straight through. That means that that damage doesn't even take resistance into effect. That just happens to the head. The other ones, you said 3?
3 total. Yeah,
3
it's-
total.
Well, it's 3 heads and a 2.
Okay.
So what effects do you have on this weapon?
Piercing,
Piercing.
plus
So
1.
you deal a total of 3 damage to their head. As you shoot them through this space, the armor absorbs almost all of it, but so precise is that strike that the piercing is what gets through. Anything else, School Bob, for your ready to action?
That's it.
Okay. Ready to action's done. Paladin's done. Peggy, what would you like to do? Then Bob the Ghoul, you get to go again.
So, Peggy doesn't want to set off that box. Peggy first shouts, like, that there's a fat boy in there! And doesn't know if anyone knows what that is, but, you know, here's hoping.
That seems offensive.
I'm familiar.
I definitely know what it is, right?
Yeah.
I definitely
I
don't.
think that would be pretty familiar
Peggy is going
You've
to,
probably heard of it.
since I
Do you need a-
experienced the fattest boy.
you need
I
a
have-
thing?
3 major injuries. Yeah. Greta is like speaking nonsense at
Great.
this point.
Great.
I've
Love
got
that
2
for
total
you.
hit points left.
She's just going.
I'm going
Beep,
to,
boop, beep.
Yeah.
Peggy's gonna reach
Beep,
and pull out her
boop.
robot repair kit, and just like, buzz Greta, I guess, because you don't really stab it. You're just kind of like, bzz.
Yeah.
It looks like a cattle prod. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's. Would you prefer 4 HP or treat an injury?
I don't know what treat an injury does.
You want to
Removes
treat an injury. You have. I think you have to treat her injury first.
I've got 3 injuries, so
Well, it removes an injury.
I will take that to.
Are you doing that as a
Yeah, it's a minor action.
Okay.
And Peggy pulls the pin out of a frag grenade and tosses it beyond the knights there, so that the 3x3 blast square catches just the 3 and
Okay.
not the paladin. Because
Sure.
I don't want to set off that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, maybe you do.
Yeah, I was gonna say
No, I want that.
maybe the rest of us want to set it up.
Yeah, but we are in the literal fallout
We're inside. Oh,
with a
goodness.
door.
I forgot for a
You
second.
get the sense that when a nuke goes off, also the walls aren't going to be like covered
Yeah,
against
it's
that.
fine.
Toss an ability point, action point thing there, because I'm gonna use.
Good idea.
Just a scooch.
Ooh, lovely. So that's another 4 successes. So that's
What was the DC?
2.
Nice.
So 4 successes, and that's 2 of which were because 2 were tag skills. And we are going to go ahead and roll the frag grenade as my sleeve catches literally all of my cards.
Hopefully not a preview of what's to come.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a luck point and re-roll 3. And then spend another luck point and re-roll this one. Cool. That's it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points of physical damage from my frag grenade.
Reduced to just 7 points for all of those nights, which is
Yes.
a tremendous amount. You throw this grenade, and through everything that's happening, it's lost to them. They can't even react to it, but it explodes behind them. And in the space where there are all these little bits of scrap and like bits of storage, you see that can of Franken beans obliterated against the wall. As the scrap grenade destroys it. Little bits of like old canned, mostly fermented fruit just go across the space. Jams go everywhere. This was kind of like food storage, now just wasted. But in the fire and smoke, there is just groaning and shouts as all of these knights badly hurt by that.
Should roll hit location for that? Do you get to roll hit location?
Not
that?
for a grenade. No.
Okay, so they don't get like any injuries.
No, and it also doesn't matter since, well, no, they don't get any injuries.
Okay.
No, that's all I can do. That was my minor and my major action.
All
Pretty
right,
much, like, separate
but
movement.
very effective as you both help Greta and greatly hurt a trio of
Can
these
I-
knights.
Question: Can I
Answer.
duck behind like the wall here a little bit so I'm just move like 5 feet back? Is that an action, or do I get a little bit of like in zone movement?
It would be part of your. You do get a little bit of in zone movement, so I would say, yeah, if you want to move 5
Cool.
feet,
I
you
would like to
definitely
just
can
take
do that.
a step away from the opening.
Yeah, because you can normally
give
reposition
Bob a
yourself,
better
I believe,
view
within
and
the
give
zone.
me less of a good view.
So no problem. You do that. That is your turn, Peggy. That brings us to Bob the Ghoul, and then Greta is on deck.
All right. do I have a pretty good shot still from here of
You
this
do,
person?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that guy's right
They
in front of the
benefit-
opening.
They do benefit from cover in the same way that you would benefit from cover against them.
Okay. I'm gonna take a shot, but I'm gonna use a minor action to aim first, so I can re-roll one of my d20s.
One of these?
Not yet.
Okay. Because you can't use them after you roll.
Well, I get to re-roll one of them for free because I'm aiming,
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
and it's a defense 1. I will take one actually, and I'm gonna aim.
Okay. So you roll 3, then you re-roll 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so that's 1 success, 1 failure, and then that's the third one. That's another success, so 2 successes, and
Okay.
then my third roll.
Oh, I mean, why is it got it set
Ooh,
up so
that's
that
a
it spits
critical
off the table?
success.
Very nice. So take an AP back.
So AP back, that's 4 successes on a critical.
So that's absolutely a hit. Go ahead and roll.
Sorry, how many
damage.
successes?
4 successes, because I got a critical and then 2 other successes.
Cool. So that would be 3 AP back.
I believe so.
Cool.
Okay, can he use them? Like, before the end of his turn?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
cool.
that,
So
'cause
then,
we're already over cap. We're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 over cap.
Yeah, you can't
Oh.
go over cap. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
can I use like 3 to keep us at cap right now?
No,
It's
you
like-
can't. You can't burn in the moment.
Can I burn a
Continue-
minor action one right now and stay at caps?
No, you can burn a minor action. Go down to 5.
Unfortunate.
Yeah,
Well,
that's why there's a
actually,
cap. That's the whole purpose of
you
a
know,
cap. Is that you respect.
Oh wait,
It's
no,
like a
because
cap.
that's
It's like
a
a cap.
that's yeah, that's not a minor. Okay, so that's then damage to the head, which is gonna be 5, and I'm gonna I will spend the ammo to do 7 damage.
Okay.
So I'll re-roll 2 of these after. Ooh, okay, so that's 4 heads
Okay.
with my piercing and 1 regular shot.
Okay.
So that's 4 damage, I believe,
4
energy
damage.
damage, and then another 2. That's going to be 1 other damage, so 5 damage to the head.
So just the piercing damage gets through. You don't do enough other damage to be able to break the
Yeah.
threshold, but no problem. This person now, you've shot them in the head several times. The first time, the head just ricochets back. The second time, the whole body swoons, and they are looking pretty hurt. Yeah.
Actually, from Harry the rules, you can use the action points you generate immediately. And
Oh.
it says if you don't want to use them, you can add them to the pool to a max of 6.
Very
So you can
Oh.
use the extra 3 if you want to take
Cool. There you
additional
go.
major or minors.
However, I am remembering again, we do have cover. I'm going to say cover actually probably won't work against piercing. Let me just double check something real quick.
So I have 3.
It just says add the result to their DR. So Pierce would pierce through it.
Yeah,
There
so
wasn't enough Pierce.
doesn't do it.
So I have 3 caps or 3 AP that I should use so that it doesn't go to waste.
Yeah.
Okay. And
want.
how many is it to use another major action?
2.
2? Cool. I'm going to use another major action to rally.
Hold on, do you know what rally does?
Yeah.
But
Oh, I
you-
guess I'll use. Okay, I'll just take another minor action.
To use one so that I
Minor
can gain
action.
one.
I'll aim again,
Okay.
and then I'll take another shot. And
Okay.
That's 3.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. And
So when you do take another major action, the difficulty is increased by 1.
oh, okay. So it's a plus. So it's a 2 difficulty.
2 DR. Difficulty,
Using
sorry.
AP to get. I'm not gonna aim for a specific part this time.
But you already had,
But
you had 3 extra AP. You used 2 to take another major action. What'd you use the 1 for?
1
aim.
to aim. So I'm gonna re-roll 1.
Gotcha,
for
you're
free.
aiming. Gotcha.
So nice. So that's one success. I'm gonna use my
Last point. Oh, second last.
yeah, my luck to re-roll this. Nice. That's
Oh.
incredible.
Very nice.
Oh,
Back up to full.
And so you are able to hit.
A lot of action
And,
point arbitrage in this
that's
round.
gonna be damage to the right leg,
Okay.
and I'm gonna use 2 more ammo. So that's 1 that pierces through, and another 4 non-critical affected damage, right?
Pings right off the leg, but that piercing damage does go through. Little elements of the bullet just breaking through the power armor, just fragments, but it adds up. Energy. But it adds up. Anything else?
No, I think I've left. That's it.
Left it all out on the battlefield. You unload this weapon again and again and again, just firing over Peggy Sue. Or sorry, Peggy. Peggy, for you, you were like, there are just these shots going past your ear. If you weren't deaf in that one already, you might be now.
This is for the bombs!
But that is your turn, Ghoul Bob. That brings us to Greta and then the Knights.
Alright, Greta, sputtering, just got one of her injuries taken care of, and she's like, oh dear, I am in trouble. And she's going to put her flame arm into overdrive.
Okay.
Remind me, we know that power armor is weak to energy weapons, or doesn't have...
The power armor that you fought in the past, in places, seems weaker to energy.
Okay, that's...
You haven't fought this power armor before, so you don't know for sure.
Okay, well,
You
I'm
do have a
gonna do
vivid memory of setting power armor on fire, though, in the past.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
So she learned from that, and I'm going to make an attack on the power armor.
Okay.
I am going to use 2 action points to make another attack.
Okay, so
just in case.
make the first one. Make the first one first. It is defense 1, so you just need 1 success to hit.
Okay. Well, I took a lot of I put a lot of points into big guns, which is what this is.
Nice.
Oh, great. Didn't do well.
Not so nice.
So I'm gonna use.
some
Oh
of that,
God.
Maybe use some of that stuff. We've got an hour left.
Luck point. I'm down to 1 luck
There
point.
you go.
Damn it.
What'd you do with your minor action?
I haven't used it
Hey,
yet.
there you go.
Success, so 1 success.
That is what you needed. You
Damn.
the fire out of this hole that you made. Laser fire pouring in, but you retaliate. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, so damage is blah blah blah.
And this is what's the location?
I'll roll that. Location is torso.
Okay.
Let's see. Flamer, burst, persistent, energy type, rate for range.
So you can add 4 if you have the required ammo, and the base damage of it for a flamer.
Flamer arm. Let's see. Dice range.
Flamer arm.
Yeah, I don't know. Making ranged attacks as a short range flamethrower. Let's see.
Give me just 1 second.
I should have written this on my sheet.
I think it is.
Short
Let me
range
see. I got it
flamethrower.
right here. Flamer.
Short range.
Page 106. It's on page 106.
Thank you for bearing with us here.
We played this a while ago.
3 weeks ago.
What are you trying to figure out?
How many damage dice a short range flamethrower has?
Flamer
You don't
base
have it on your
damage is
sheet?
3 combat dice.
Okay.
Fire
So
rate
you
of
do
4.
up to 7 if you use more ammo.
Well, I don't even know. It's integrated. So I'm just gonna roll 3. Wow, missed 3 times.
There you go. You
It's-
flow the flamer over this thing, and with the steel, it just licks across.
I'm going to buy another major action with 2
Sure.
points.
And make an attack.
Yep, make
Do
another
it again.
attack.
Make your attack roll. This is defense 2 now.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You got it.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. 2 successes.
Very nice. Go ahead and roll your damage. And this time, perhaps.
Nice. You
One.
got
I don't know what this means, but 3.
1 face and 3 bullet holes.
So the flamer.
4 damage.
Does the flamer have any attributes?
Any
Yeah,
damage
it's got a
effects.
lot. So it's burst, persistent, spread.
Persistent is the one that we care about there. And so in this moment, as you burst this over, that is a total of 4 points of energy.
Points of-
It doesn't do any damage, and it will continue to not do damage next turn.
Okay, great. Minor action, moving out of the way.
Oh,
Oh, hold on. So bursts, you can hit an additional target that's close to it. There
Oh.
are guys
can
close
hit-
to it.
Within
Per
10
face
feet of
roll.
burst.
So
So there's one.
But
You
she-
could just-
She used up her extra ammo to do that second attack, no?
No.
No, that's not-
It was, AP.
that's her major action is the second
Yeah.
So
attack
you have one face that you got, so you could hit another person with the
by
flame,
spending an ammo.
which
Okay.
I would suggest you do because you have fuel cells.
I-
Or
Do I?
you have fuel, presumably, if you're firing your flamer.
Okay, I'll
You do.
say
You
that's.
You started with some, yeah, so
Yeah.
you do. So no problem. You spend that. Go ahead, roll your dice for this person.
Is it on an automatic hit, or do I have to roll to hit again?
I believe
It
you.
says attack may hit one additional
I
target.
believe you have to roll to hit again
Okay.
because it's May.
I can. Oh, natural one. So 3 successes.
Nice.
there.
Absolutely, you get an action point back. Roll damage, and this person does not wear power armor. This is just a person in knight armor. They just got hit with a grenade.
3, and then one of those is a face.
3, and one of those is a face.
So it gets the persistent, but I don't think it gets the burst because this is unless you have more ammo to spend.
Nah.
That person kind of catches and ignites. That damage will continue on their next turn. They do take damage, and they are looking really rough. But anything else, Greta?
Nope. I just moved behind cover because I am still not looking great.
Okay, you flee through Peggy, through Bob.
Because of spread, it takes another hit to a randomly rolled location,
No.
and the damage is half of the original hit, and that would apply to the first thing she hit too.
Okay.
And if it's a new location, it also gets the DR from the new location, but essentially it's like you're hitting 2 body parts.
So the table that is diagonal and behind that person, yeah, just ignites. And it has no health because I wasn't planning on it being hit, so it just is destroyed. You see the pork and beans already like destroyed, now just begin to pop and blacken on this table. As they
Oh, no.
No, it
they're
hits the
cooking.
same person again.
Oh, it's the same person
On the
again.
sa-
Huh.
In a
separate
different
spot.
location doing like
Oh,
half
oh,
damage.
oh.
So if she did...
And that leaps onto their right leg. It deals an additional 1 point of damage. All right. Anything else?
I moved. That's everything I can do.
There you go. But that is quite a bit. There is just flames now licking through the storage cabinet, and that brings us to the knights. So they have just taken.
Wait.
Yep.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. They have just taken a grenade from
Hey,
Peggy, and so they are going to begin to fill this gap a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
They're going to rush over to Security Bob, to
hey,
Peggy.
hi, hi.
I'll just get right in the center there. And for security, or for Engineering Bob, you could see they had just dropped their left hand down to their belt, and in their left hand they had a robot repair kit. You could see they had been looking at Miss Greta, who was quite badly damaged. They were about to say, "They don't call me Engineering Bob for nothing," but this seems to be perhaps a thing of the past, as the first knight is going to take a unarmed strike against them. That is 4 successes, and so that will certainly be a
wait.
hit.
That was supposed to be Security Bob, right?
Yeah, sorry, that's Security Bob. They have the same stat block.
Swap
No,
them.
that's you were no. The engineering Bob is the one that ran away.
Yeah, but he's got the engineering
He has a
box.
little engineering toolbox there.
Oh.
That's the differentiation between them, yeah. This person rushes forwards. The knight strikes them in the chest. They don't seem to take any damage from it. But for you, Peggy, you are taking 2 2 long laser rifle attacks.
I don't like that.
The first one, that is going to be 2 successes.
Yep.
All right. This is going to be 5 points of damage. They will use the full fire rate to use this as a 7. That is going to be 2 piercing, 2 regular, 3 piercing, and 3 regular. And that is all going to go towards your torso.
Oh.
You are kind of impaled by the fire, and then the person directly in front of you is going to take a shot against you as well.
How does the injuries work?
Where you
Injuries?
just take damage to?
Torso.
You are now
You're
bleeding
a lot.
and taking 2 damage on each of your subsequent turns.
that is 2 additional successes from the second attack.
Stimpaks can stop bleeding.
They will burn their
Until you heal the injury.
ammo as well to deal 5
Well, you
combat
can use
dice worth of
Stimpak for
damage.
injury.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 misses. So that is 2 points of energy piercing and then 2 points of regular energy damage. And both of those are against your head.
How much damage was that to the head?
4, 2 of which is piercing, 2 of which was regular.
How do injuries work?
If
How
you
do
take 5 or more
5
damage, so
or
that
more.
did not give you an injury.
Yeah.
Great.
So you take these shots, they flood the hallway, you can hear them just shouting, move, move, move. And they're like going in and attacking, but that is all that the knights can do. That brings us to
Take
Jebediah.
to the torso again?
6.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you just
that's
have
an
one
injury.
torso injury right now, right? Okay.
Jebediah.
All right, I'm gonna hit this paladin. I'm gonna say to the group, take care of the little ones. The big ones are mine.
There's
And then-
all big Jebediah.
Huh?
Peggy is small.
Everything is big to Peggy.
And then I'll attack this guy in front of me.
Okay.
And let's see. I want to use these dice.
They're like leaning on the wall. They're badly hurt. Your strike with that sledgehammer probably broke their leg,
All right.
even through the power armor.
So now this is, let's see. Is that right? Hold on. Math.
Finder.
Forgot to update the number, but 2 successes,
2 successes. That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
and then I will roll damage as you instructed.
So
Look
much
at all them
I
damage.
know.
All right. Oh. I'm gonna spend a luck point
Okay.
to reroll some of the damage die.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'll reroll this one, and this one.
Yeah, the misses. You don't want to reroll the critical successes?
I do not. 1, 2,
That's a lot of
3,
damage.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 damage, which is Pierce 2. So 12 damage, Pierce 2 with stun.
So.
Oh, and you probably want to know where I hit you.
Yeah.
Left arm.
The left arm. 12 points of damage to the left
Good
arm.
rolling hand.
You slam into them. And they do not have 12 points of physical resistance on the arms. You rip their arm off. Not just like you rip their arm off. You slam into this,
I can
and the
fix that!
entirety of this arm is ripped off. Not just the armor, the arm as well. There is just a protruding bit of bone, like
fix that
ripped
one.
flesh, and there is just a streak of crimson as the arm is launched like a missile straight into the supply storage closet. It is just gone. There is from inside, there is like the electronic, it's just one monotone shriek, but you can hear the voice now from the hole in the arm as they are like shouting. They are almost dead. As their leg is broken, their arm is literally off their body. The power armor is the only thing that is keeping them standing. They are likely going to bleed out in the very near future, but they are still up.
Okay. I will spend 2 action points
Nice.
to hit him again.
Hell yeah, go ahead and do it.
And I'll spend 1 more just to throw an extra die. So
That's
the
good.
DC is now 2 because it's an extra major action. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Very
we get
nice.
2 of these back.
Roll damage.
And oh boy.
Oh,
1, 2,
God.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 piercing. 12 damage, 5 piercing.
Where's the hitting?
Oh, good question. Left leg.
12 damage, 5 piercing, the left leg. This is the leg that you had hit before. It was already completely shattered. You slam into the leg breaks in half, and the continued upward momentum goes into the actual just crotch of the power armor, and it just shreds up through that and goes into the torso. And the armor probably repairable, but like
Sure it is.
it's like warped and damaged as you have just completely scooped half of their torso out, and it is now just back on the wall, like dripping down. They are dead.
Haha!
40 on that'll be fine.
There's
duct
just
tape.
blood all over the place. It is not contained by the power armor with that amount of damage. There's just organic matter across this very clean vault. But they're down. Anything else, Jebediah's?
Oh, there's the patina.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend another action point to take another minor action,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take 2 minor actions, which is to take out the jet fuel and then inhale it. And I'm gonna say, I did a good job. I deserve this.
And you take it out, and despite what Peggy told you, you just take it out and right in your mouth. You chew it, and you just, in one inhale, breathe the whole thing in. And this jet hits your blood like jet. You just roar with this power. You feel a lot better. Anything else, Jebediah's?
I'm done.
All right, that is your turn, Jebediah's. That brings us to the Vault Dwellers. So this individual who had just tried to help Greta flies out of sight. The hallway fills with these individuals. And so they drop the robot repair kit, and they are going to swing this truncheon at this individual in front of them. That is a torso and a success. That is 3 successes as they strike with def damage.
Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
This engineering Bob
Bob and
slams
weave.
this guy in the head, barely doing any damage, only a single point of damage.
2 Bobs. It's just Bob and Bob.
But that person is stunned as they are struck straight in the face, and just enough damage sinks in to give them that critical effect. The engineering Bob is going to actually run and get to this door. And then that is the Vault Dwellers. That brings us to the top of the round into Madeline. Oh, yes.
Oh, I would like to spend a luck point to go right now.
Go for it.
All right.
Move your turn ahead. You got the jet in your veins. You got to move.
Creepy.
All right, so I have a free AP for this round, which I'll have, and then I'm gonna minor action move up to this guy and hit him with my sledgehammer.
Phenomenal. So this power
And I'll
armor is
send
still
it.
standing in the hallway. You rip the rest of this guy in half. Just toss both pieces to the side and rush through the blood. You are now like red and green rushing into this space. And this person turns. You can't see their eyes through the visor, but you imagine they're wide as they see you just barreling through their ally and into them. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Torso, and that will be 3 successes.
That is a hit. Go ahead
Sorry.
and roll damage.
4.
Go ahead and roll
4
damage.
successes, and I will spend 3 of them to do extra damage. And it is only on melee and range.
Okay,
So
go
I
ahead.
will roll an extra 3 damage in addition to my normal damage.
Roll that damage.
Oh my god, I can't even hold them all. I should probably count that one. Alright, that's right. I'm sorry. It's just so
elbow is
hard to
very
grab. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 damage.
Okay.
2 pierce with
Okay.
stun. And you know what? I'll spend a luck point to reroll 3 of those because I
Yeah.
want to do more damage.
Absolutely.
Always do
One,
more.
one. Miss.
How dare you?
14 damage.
Nice.
14 points of damage to the torso.
Yes.
That only does 5 points of damage. Actually, 6 because you had piercing as well.
Pierce 2.
Pierce 2, 7 points of damage. That's a tremendous amount. The sledgehammer goes straight into their back. You can see they have turned to look at you, but you almost slam them through the hole and into the night in front of them. They barely catch the sides. Anything else, Jebediah's?
Yeah, I want to spend another 2 action points to take another major action and
Nice.
do it again.
Go for it.
Let's go,
This increases their defense to 2.
And I'll
You can
spend
see Madeline,
an action
Jebediah's
point.
now is just wailing on this person. Their sights were set on you, all the knights were kind of set on you, and then all of a sudden now, roaring, blood-covered super mutant, certainly taking the
Yeah.
attention away.
Nice.
2 successes.
That is a hit.
To the
That's a pizza.
torso again.
There you go.
Take away 3 of these. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Oh my god.
11, 12. 12 pierce 2.
12
3.
pierce
12
two.
pierce 3.
With that hit, you streak up behind this individual, and their mask turns. They look at you, Madeline, and they're about to point at you and issue this command again. But then Jebediah slams the sledgehammer through the back of this power armor, and the whole thing just
Again.
buckles in.
Okay.
And you just
Armed
slam
and
through their
dangerous.
torso. You feel the bones
Not a
crack
song.
and give away, and the power armor just forwards, and just almost like a robot that has lost power bends down. They are dead inside that armor.
Wow.
Very nicely done.
Nice job.
There's now just 3 knights ahead of you, but anything else, Jebediah's?
I'm done.
Grab the fire.
That
take
is
another
your
zip.
turn. That
Again.
brings us to Madeline.
Okay.
Madeline, you're about to shoot, and then Jebediah just wails on this
That's
dude.
fine. Do I recognize the knights who are here?
I would say turning, you don't recognize the knights in particular. They all look relatively new.
Okay, and from what I know of the structure of the Brotherhood, if he tormented me, he's probably tormenting his knights as well, right? Maybe.
You were an initiate, and so they have been through this process probably some years ago.
All right, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
So
These guys are dorks.
yeah.
They're,
All
they're
right.
drinking the Kool-Aid for sure.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna spend an action point for another minor action, like I did before. Back up a bit, and then. Cool. Take the A minor action at this guy because he's the best one.
There you go.
He is the best one.
Well, he's the best one for hitting. Okay, that's gonna be one success.
1 success is what you needed. Go ahead and roll damage.
Did you pick a location?
Oh, I get to do that
get
for
to
free,
for
so
free.
headshot.
Yeah, go for it. Why
Boom,
not?
headshot.
Hell yeah. Let's see. So finesse is done. Yeah, I can spend a luck point to reroll some of these.
3,
Three.
up to 3.
3.
Oh, did you already use? Is finesse
I
only
use
once per?
it's once per combat. Yeah.
Ah.
All right. Let's do that.
Oof.
Okay. 2 damage, and then I'm going to
Just 2 physical damage?
Yeah.
Regular physical?
Regular old physical.
Pow! Right off the combat helmet.
Yeah.
That is the damage resistance.
That's fine. I'm gonna shoot again.
Yep.
Oops. 3 damage.
That does a single point of damage.
Yep.
And because this person has already taken a grenade shot, that you can see there's flames looking across them. They were barely holding on. That point of damage, all that you needed to dispatch this particular night. They were in really rough shape, and you can see they were barely kind of holding on. They're in this like corridor of fire. They have Peggy, Ghoul Bob, and Greta behind them. They were not looking great to begin with, but
Peggy looked
they are down.
afraid.
Yeah.
Peggy did not look happy about this.
Oh, sure. Anything else, Madeline?
Yeah, as a free
Feels
action, I'm
better.
just gonna be like,
Tina.
y'all knights can still run if you want to.
All right, you say that. That brings us to you, Peggy, and then Bob the Ghoul.
Well, I feel a little bit better about this now. Still not spectacular. There's still 2. So Peggy's gonna just Peggy's gonna do 2 things. Peggy's first gonna
tin cans.
Peggy's first gonna take a little bit of a shot to the chest,
Yep.
as it were, to stop goddamn bleeding.
Stim back straight to the sternum.
And then she's gonna take a couple steps back and throw a Molotov cocktail
It's like that
right in the
scene
middle.
Pulp
Yeah,
Catch
go
the 2,
for it.
but not Bob. 'Cause
Absolutely.
armor's flammable. I cannot see.
but she's
Damn it.
Everybody learns this lesson over time, but eyewear is a tough one for costumes.
Throw an AP in there. I'm rolling 3. All right, so we have 5 successes.
That.
Whoa! What was the
You-
DC?
2.
Did you see? No.
Nice.
No. 1.
Oh, nice.
So, in this space, so close, the confines are like, you really can't miss Peggy. You just lob this over, and you perfectly place it between these 2 knights.
I just want to do more damage.
Don't we all?
Or not.
me.
Apparently. I spent a luck point to re-roll 2 misses, and I got 2 misses.
There you go.
Two
Uh,
more misses.
So that's going to be
As long as you don't kill
4 points total of energy damage, and it's persistent as well
Okay.
for 2 rounds.
So they are set on fire and they're hurt, but they are still up.
Round.
You can see they look over at their fallen ally. They look back. The paladin is dead. They are beginning to panic. But that is your turn, Peggy.
Si, senor.
That brings us.
Go ahead and move me all the way back to the corner there.
Okay.
Right here?
A little. Nope, the other way. Just put me in the corner.
Oh, like that.
Perfect.
Okay.
You're in that corner. You look down. There's power armor here, and it is salvageable. But that is your turn. That brings us to Bob the Ghoul. Greta, you're on deck.
I'm gonna aim and shoot at the guy that's in front of me.
Go for it. Make your attack roll. They are ignited by this Molotov cocktail.
And I'm gonna. It's defense 1.
Defense 1.
I'm gonna use my whatchamacallit. I'm gonna aim
Okay. Minor action aim.
per head. Well, calling the shot too, and taking the minor action aim. So
Okay,
it's-
so makes it
defense
harder, then
2.
makes it easier.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, defense 2, I get to re-roll.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna use 1 to roll an extra.
There you go.
So I'm just gonna do them here. All right. So 1 is a critical success.
All right, you hit.
And the next one is a success. So that's 3 successes.
You hit
and
with
then,
zest.
What's the DC?
I'm gonna re-roll the one that wasn't a hit.
Okay.
That's another success. So that's
3 successes over what you needed.
yeah,
So you have a floating action point.
a floating action point. I'll use. Well, first I'll roll the damage because then I'll see if it makes sense to use it for taking another shot. So that's 2 piercing and then 1 regular.
Okay, 2 piercing, and then 1 regular. The 1 regular does nothing.
And then I'm going to spend the 2 action points. So get rid of 1 of these to make a second
Yep,
attack.
you get the floating point.
And I'll use another one to reroll a die.
Okay,
Because
Add a die?
Because it's going to be difficulty 2 now.
go for it.
That's a critical success.
Awesome. Roll
And
your
I'm
third
gonna
die.
reroll that. That's another success.
Very nice. Keeping that point.
Nice.
And that's going to be
Keep that
damage
one
to the
alive.
torso.
Very nice.
And that's 2 piercing, 2 regular damage.
With 2 piercing and 2 regular, that is just what you needed to finish this person off. They were they're wearing very, very good armor. They're wearing pretty heavy like combat helmets, but you are still able to pour enough damage in, especially because they are on fire, to finish them.
Nice.
Anything else, cool, Bob?
That's it for me.
All
I'm
right.
just like,
We're like-
Ah! Just shots flying through the space. But that is your turn, Bob. That brings us to Greta.
Greta, hiding behind Bob over here, purposefully shuts off her thruster, so you hear like a gunk as her metallic body kind of hits the floor, and her arms are furiously ripping open the robot repair kit, and she's gonna try to repair herself
Okay.
for a unfortunately high DC of 3.
3, yeah.
So I'm gonna buy 2 extra dice for 3 action points. And I need 4 dice.
Having Ghoul Bob as a point generator is so helpful for you guys. It's like having an action point engine in your team.
Probably. 6. I haven't done the math.
Yeah.
Success.
Is this a tag skill for you?
Success. It is a tag skill. And so I guess it would be a critical. So
Yeah, that would be a
3
critical.
Yeah,
successes.
Very nice.
Ooh.
So absolutely,
It might be.
you get exactly what you needed to be able to repair yourself. This is a difficult task. In the middle of combat with laser fire ringing around you,
No.
you are still able, perhaps because your sensors are damaged, to focus and repair yourself.
What's your repair skill?
It would be 11, so I'd.
Are you
My
Oh,
repair
just the
skill?
repair.
3.
That's 4.
And were you using a kit or just a regular
robot
repair?
repair kit?
Kit.
Okay.
Robot repair kit.
If you're using a repair kit, that's additional on top of the
Yeah.
the action to repair yourself.
So with the repair kit, you can either treat an injury or heal 4 HP, and with the just repair action, you can heal 3 or treat an injury.
I'm gonna treat one of my injuries.
There you go.
All right, and then you get to
mark
do
off
another
that
thing.
Injury.
Because
And
you
you
had
can
she used the repair
heal
kit.
and treat an injury, essentially. Because
Yeah.
used
So
the
I get
repair
4
kit.
hit points back and go down 1 injury.
Yes.
Yes.
Or you can go down 2 injuries if you have to.
Which I would
I
recommend.
do have 2 injuries,
So you should
I'm
get rid of
still
the
at
2
2
injuries.
hit points,
There you
but
go.
I have no injuries left.
As you pull apart
up,
the
baby.
robot like repair kit, you are able to fix your sensors, you are able to fix your limbs, and as you look around, there's only a single night left.
Recalibrating.
Anything else, Greta?
I don't have any. Oh wait, I've got a 10mm I can shoot.
You'll have to. That's you've done a major and a minor action.
Oh, okay, never mind. So then, yeah, that's it.
There you go, Greta. That does bring us to this lone remaining knight. They look around, their friends are dead, their allies are dead. There is only one person that they might be able to take with them.
They're on
There's
fire.
just this security Bob,
They are on fire.
and with the fire. Greta. Wait, who had the fire?
Hi.
Peggy, go ahead and tell us how it happens.
Woo, there ain't nothing to tell. I just threw a good old Molotov cocktail. It's got a nice little spin on that alcohol in there. It's good for drinking if you want to go blind, which sometimes, you do. And this guy's definitely going blind as his eyes melt out of their sockets.
He looks to his left, he looks to his right, and then he looks no more as the eyes melt right out of their sockets.
Damn.
They try to scream something as their last and final words, but the fire has already consumed the oxygen. There is no final words for them, and they are down. And in this moment, all of you now stand for a tense couple seconds in this space, but there is no additional Brotherhood of Steel members that come pouring into this place, and you are all out of initiative.
Bleeding everywhere, Peggy goes running for those crates.
Bob's head count.
Peggy, you run over to the crate that you had eyed in particular, the first one, the one that is at Jebediah's feet. You wrench it open. And in this crate, there is a fat man. You see beautiful, like the day that it came out of the factory, still painted fresh green. You can see property of the United States government on there. It is a perfect, good as new fat man, sorry.
The Fat Man is like
It's
like
launcher.
the cannon, right? So to
Cannon is
speak?
a really generous term.
But is it the gun or the ammo?
It's
a-
the gun.
Okay.
It's the gun.
It's a slingshot. It's like when you really read the lore,
Yeah.
they sunk millions of dollars into developing a big slingshot.
Yeah, it's basically like a railgun slingshot.
Yeah.
How many mini nukes are in there?
0.
Ah.
gotta get-
So
Wait, wasn't there?
There's
There was
the
another
Batman.
second. The other guy had a crate too.
And Peggy was right
You
there.
limp over and you limp over and you grab the crate and you wrench this open, and there is a mini nuke inside.
Oh, good Lord, it's my birthday!
Your rad meter just begins to tick away loudly as this is highly radioactive, but this is a mini nuke. You have a fat man. You have one chance, one shot. Do
Opportunity?
not miss your opportunity here. But you put that into your inventory.
Achievement unlocked.
And you mark off that quest.
Oh, it's so good!
So the rad meter is ticking away, but Madeline doesn't notice because she also goes running for outside. But instead of going for the crate, she goes for the body of what was his name?
This
Regulus.
is Paladin Regulus.
Regulus, yeah. Knowing enough about power armor, can I get access to his actual head?
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
cool.
easily just the little seams, and you pry the helmet off.
I do, and so she's gonna pull out her combat knife and methodically start sawing. And once she has the head just ahead,
Sure.
she's gonna walk outside or someplace, and she's gonna punt it.
Phenomenal. So you take the head for all of you as you're doing things. Some of you a little bit too busy may not notice this, but a few of you notice. Madeline just saws the head off this dude. You can see a security guard, Bob, is turning around and begins to say, "Thank you, all of you, for helping us," and then looks, and Madeline just rips the head off, and they just go,
Don't worry. I think she's working through some personal things.
Yeah, if you want to
Okay.
thank us, we'd love to, just take a look at what sort of media you have on your computer systems and maybe some ballistic weave while you're at it.
I'll
Let's- let's get you folks into the vault proper, and you can take a look around. At what
Peggy's
we
like
got for
dragging
ya.
suitcases with backup.
It turns over, and you can see now the door at the far end is open metal, and you guys have all moved around since then. The far door over where the engineering Bob was opens up, and the overseer makes their way through. And as they approach, you can see like gratitude on their face. You all just saved them from this Brotherhood of Steel raid. That is where we're going to end for the evening. But you have all successfully defended this Brotherhood of Steel raid. You have found Vault 40, and you can see a computer off in the distance where there is likely the location of Liberty Fields. When we pick up next for the final session of Black Hearts of Texas, you all level up once more. And we will see what you find and what you can maybe talk out of this vault when we return. But thank you for joining us for this session of Black Heart of Texas. We will be back in 2 weeks. Please stay safe. It is wild out there. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Say all right.
Bye.